Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Wednesday night movie live stream. Sorry about being late. I've had a few technical issues. Basically, my phone's had a bit of a meltdown because of the heat, but we're here, and it's just gone 7:30. But thank you all, everybody, for tuning in. Again, I'm Pete, Playtendoguy, and as always, I'm joined by Andy from Forgotten World of Movies.
Hi, guys.
And Mike from Cinema Axeman.
Hi, guys.
And tonight we're not joined by not one, not two, but we're joined by three guests. We're joined by last week's guest, Scott the movie critic. Thanks for joining, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, Scott. And we're also joined by David from the 4K Lowdown again. Thanks for joining, David.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No worries. I'm also joined by Matt from Vengeance Media, who'll be joining us later in the evening. So we definitely got a full pack stream tonight. As always, before we go into the comments, I'd just like to ask you, what were some of the... I forgot what I was going to say now. What are some of the films that you've watched over the past weeks? What were some of your highlights? What were some of your low likes? I don't know what that word is, but anyway, Andy,
the heat is getting to you, Pete. I got to say that we're going to need to put a fan on you or put your feet in a bucket of ice or something. So...
that sounds really nice.
So you can. It is nice. Coming from someone who I deal with 100-degree heat every summer, and that's the best thing. It's even better than air conditioning. You just have a nice big bucket full of ice water, and you put your feet in there, and it cools the whole body down.
Oh, you've just won me over. I know what I'm doing when I finish the stream.
Right.
Oh, but yeah. Do you want to go first, Andy, on some of the films you've watched over the past week?
Yeah, sure. I'll start from Sunday and I'll go to now because it's been so jam-packed with movies I've watched. So pretty much Sunday I watched back-to-back the Back to the Future trilogy, and I watched New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Monday night I watched Return of the Jedi and The Northman. Last night I watched a movie called Sex Drive, which was really funny. And tonight I've just finished watching the new Doctor Strange. So it's been
awesome.
Jam-packed. But yeah.
Great mix of films there. What did you thought of the Northman? I nearly said The Night Manager, but The Northman. What did you thought of The Northman?
Yeah, I went to see that at the cinema when it came out, and I had a fantastic time with it. And watching it on 4K was a treat as well.
Awesome.
Really good film, one of my favourites of the year. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to have a look out for that one. Did you pick up the HMV limited edition or just the normal 4K?
No, just a standard 4K.
That sounds good. What about Doctor Strange? You enjoyed Doctor Strange?
It's visually really good, but story-wise, it's lacking. It could have been so much better. Yeah.
I certainly do agree with you there. My copy arrived today, and whilst I've seen it twice, I'm not in no rush to see it again. It's a solid middle-of-the-road Marvel movie, yeah. I think. Yeah. What about you, Scott? What are some of the films you watched last?
I watched Blown Away Weekend, the really great underrated 90s movie. That one, quite a lot. And I watched The Northman.
Oh, that's good. So you enjoyed The Northman as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I've been hearing so many positive things about that film. We're definitely going to have to give it a go soon.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's Robert Eggers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? What were some of the films you watched last?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot. Last night I watched Dario Argento's Dracula movie. If you guys haven't seen that, it's definitely something. It's it's pretty bad.
I've heard it's not the greatest.
Yeah, some of the special effects in it, they look like PlayStation 2 effects. Just
oh, man.
Yeah, it's not the best looking movie. And earlier today I watched a movie called the Kentucky Fried Movie. It's kind of like it's kind of like the American version of like Monty Python, just like a sketch movie. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Some of the humor in it is pretty dated now, but it was still pretty funny.
Yeah. Sounds like a great mix of films. I definitely want to give that Argento Dracula a watch. I think it'll be so bad it might be quite entertaining.
if you go into it knowing it's bad, then yeah, you'll be okay. But don't expect a good movie.
No, I won't. I won't be expecting another Tenebrae or something. No. What about you, David? What were some of the films you watched last?
Well, I recently had my wedding anniversary a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And we went to see Love and Thunder, and then we came home and continued the abuse by watching Morbius. So, but I figured out that that's how you can appreciate Morbius a little better is after watching Love and Thunder. So tag team those, you guys, and it might make one or the other a little better for you. But I caught up on some old movies. So I watched The Peanut Butter Falcon. 2019 movie was recommended to me, and I liked that. I did watch a couple of Liam Neeson movies because he spits them out like they're Mentos now. I watched Blacklight, which I didn't care for. It was okay. And then Memory, I liked a little bit more. It's actually a rated R action movie, so there's a little bit more blood. And it's rare that you get a rated R action movie from Liam Neeson. So, and Guy Pearce is in it. It's got a pretty good cast. So I kind of enjoyed that. And like I said, some old movies. I watched the movie Bombshell with Charlize Theron and Margot Robbie, and that was amazing. Really good acting on that. Subject matter I didn't care for, but I will go and buy that and add that to my collection because I'll watch that again.
That's good.
I saw the movie Whiplash with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, and I liked that.
Very good film.
Again, it was one that I probably wouldn't have watched if it wasn't recommended to me. But I really enjoyed that. And then I did a rewatch of The Edge of Tomorrow in 4K, and that was a lot of fun.
That's a great film, that is. How's the 4K transfer of that film?
I thought it was great. I thought the 4K transfer was awesome, especially the sound, the Dolby Atmos sound. There's one particular scene where they, the whole first thing where he comes out of the dropship early and he's just swinging around. And you get that with the surround sound. It follows the speakers all the way around you. I thought that was a really cool element. But yeah, the sound, the picture, it's a good transfer.
Very good. Oh, I do like that film. I don't think it's been announced for UK release yet on 4K, but that'll be quite a good film to pick up. So, not a big fan of Morbius or Love and Thunder, Anne?
I'm a huge MCU fan, but I think those were misses. I liked parts of Morbius and I liked parts of Love and Thunder. I hear that Taika Waititi, I hope I got that right, but the director of Love and Thunder, he had to cut a whole bunch out.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
So I'm hearing that a possible director's cut would come out in the next year or two. And I'm hoping that happens because I'd like to check that out. I loved his job with Jojo Rabbit. That was a movie I saw recently that I really liked. So I'd like to see him 100%, give me exactly what he wanted to do with Love and Thunder and not what Marvel wanted him to do.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Jojo Rabbit was a fantastic film.
Amazing.
I did enjoy Ragnarok, but from what I'm hearing of Love and Thunder, it seems to play too much of a comedy and it's just not as good.
Yeah. I groaned a couple times with some of the humor, particularly from Chris Hemsworth in that one, where it's just like, stop.
I've heard a lot of people aren't very happy with the goats.
Nobody was happy with the goats. Even in the theater when we were watching it, they were, everybody was like, I'm gonna get popcorn with the goats. And the other thing was I went to the theater to watch Jurassic World Dominion. And I think it was a sign because the theater crashed. I didn't get to see the movie. Before the movie started, the whole screen crashed. Whatever, their computers went down or something. So I didn't get to see that movie. I got 2 free tickets for later. So I take that as a sign. I'm just going to wait for it to come out on video before I watch it.
Sounds like you might have got a lucky escape out of that one, Anne.
Am I going to escape? And I got a free ticket to watch something later. So
that's true. That's not too bad at all. Wow. Anyway, for me, some of the films I've watched over the past week, I watched the Bob's Burgers movie. I've only ever watched 1 or 2 episodes of the series, but I watched the film and it was a pleasant surprise. I think it's definitely one of the more hidden gems of the year. It's quite a funny film. I watched the first Mad Max again for first time in quite a while. Really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it a lot more than I did watch it the first time round. And what else did I watch? Oh yes, I watched Rambo: Last Blood. That was an interesting film. The first half of it was quite yeah, and then the final half of the film was like an adult version of Home Alone.
That's a good way to put it.
I don't think we need another one, but it was all right for only £2 for what I paid for it. But yeah. Anyway, before we get on to the comments, Scott, do you want to promote your channel to anybody who hasn't seen your channel before?
Yeah, so, each channel's got a movie critic. I normally do like ranking videos and collection videos and all stuff movie related.
Sounds good to me. Great. And what about you, David?
Well, my channel is the 4K Lowdown. It's on YouTube, and I also have Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitter. So you can pretty much find it anywhere. We've started doing live streams on Facebook and Twitter along with YouTube. So hopefully you guys can check it out. We do Top 10 Tuesdays where we pick a genre and we do our top 10. I do another show called High Five, which Vengeance Media is actually going to be my guest this Saturday. We're going to do a special High Five where he picked 5 movies and we're going to score them live on the stream and talk about those movies because they're 5 of his favorites, and I'm anxious to talk to him. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. If you like what you hear, go and give David a subscription too. I haven't put his link to his channel in the description down below, but as soon as the stream finishes,
man.
Oh, I'm terrible tonight, and
you had 2 hours before knowing that I was going to be on, so you had plenty of time.
Oh, I've been rushed off my. But yeah, as soon as the stream finishes, I'll pop his link into the description. But if you search up the 4K Lowdown, his channel will be the first one you see. Go and give him a subscription. David's got a wonderful channel. And don't forget to give Andy and Mike a subscription too. Andy's very close to 400 subscribers, so I think you're only 2 away, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't subbed to Andy, mate, go and give him a sub, and of course give Mike a sub as well. But anyway, before we get on to the comments, we've got 2 special videos. First one's from a certain...
Hi Pete, hi guys, how are we all doing? I hope we're all good. Unfortunately, I can't make the stream tonight because I've got to go to work. Boo. But yeah, I hope you all have a great stream, and it's great to see Matthew and Scott on the channel tonight on the stream. So I hope you all have fun, have a great time, keep drinking loads of water guys, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye.
And that's James gave us a little message before he went to work today, because I did ask him to come on the stream, but unfortunately he's at work. And we've got one final video to come from certain someone whose new trailer for a new film arrived last night or in the morning if you live across the pond. That was Evander from Slow Reviews. He's very excited for Halloween Ends. Have you guys watched the trailer? What did you think,
yet.
Andy? Oh, you haven't seen it yet, David?
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
I'll just say it's very interesting. I think I'll say that without going in too deep into it.
Yep. Scott, you seen the trailer?
I haven't, no, but I did hear about it.
Yeah. And have you seen the trailer, Mike?
Yeah, I watched it this morning. Yeah, I wasn't going to watch it just because I was worried that it might give too much away, you know, like the Halloween Kills trailer. But thankfully it didn't. But yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah. I do agree. I watched the trailer this morning. I see everybody talking about it when I got up, and I was like, "Oh, I better watch it." Watched it on the TV. It was only a minute. It didn't really reveal much, but it's got me interested in the film, shall I say? And bring on October, and hopefully it does make a good end to this new Halloween trilogy. Right, on to the comments then. Once my phone starts playing ball, we have a lot of comments. First up, we have Harry here saying, evening, gentlemen. All right, Matt. Hey, Harry. Thanks for joining, mate. Hope you're doing well. We've got Edward here. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Who's excited to see Pixar's Lightyear when it hits streaming on August 3rd, only on Disney+. Thanks for joining, Edward. Yeah, I heard this is coming out on streaming in August. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not in a big rush to see it, but now it's on Disney+, I'll definitely watch it. The only main reason I want to watch it is because of Socks the cat. Oh, David, you got your dog there.
Yeah, this is my dog, Romeo.
Oh, he's lovely.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's 12 years old.
Oh.
But he's a good boy. Okay.
So have you seen Lightyear, David?
No, I have not. I'm going to wait for the Disney Plus release, and I'll probably catch it there.
Yeah, it seems to be the best thing. The film hasn't been out for just over a month, and now it's already hitting streaming platforms. I think a lot of people now with Disney films are knowing this and probably waiting.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I saw it at the cinema a few weeks ago. I was a bit underwhelmed by the movie, to be honest. I'm still going to pick up the Blu-ray because obviously I'm collecting all the Pixar movies as well, so that one's going to have to be added to it. But yeah, it was sort of in the same vein as like The Good Dinosaur. For me, it was very much sort of run-of-the-mill, not as good Pixar movie, you know, because when Pixar are good, they're home runs, those movies. But this for me was just, it was middle of the road.
Yeah. Very safe film, do you think?
Yeah.
You seen it, Scott, or you going to watch it on Disney Plus? Scott's left.
Oh, he didn't like that at all. Must have been.
What about
not
you,
a fan
Mike?
of Lightyear, I guess.
I gather not. What about you, Mike? You're going to be watching it when it hits streaming?
I don't know. It doesn't interest me at all, to be honest. I'll probably watch it at some point, but I think like you, Pete, I'm not really in a hurry to watch it.
No, I only really want to watch it for the scenes of Socks the cat.
Yeah.
Right. Here he is. He's back.
Apologies.
No worries, mate. No worries, mate. You had a few technical issues last week. I had some today. It happens to all of us. So you're going to see Lightyear when it hits Disney Plus, or have you already seen it?
I'll probably just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the best thing. I know it wasn't a big success in the box office, so it makes sense for them to push it out on Disney Plus a little bit sooner. Hopefully, get them numbers back up. But I should imagine that'll be hitting physical probably in September.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Jurassic World streaming as well, hasn't it? I noticed
Jurassic.
that.
What hits streaming? Has it? Wow,
Yeah,
that's super quick.
I'm not sure what platform, but I know you can watch it like digitally now. So that was quite soon.
Oh, that's quite soon, but it's done quite well for itself in the box office. I'm pretty certain it's hit the billion mark, or very, very close.
Yeah.
We have got the DVD from Film Bloke here saying made it before the stream started. So hi, hey mate, thanks for joining. We've got Mike here from Did You See That? All right, lads, wanted to stop in and say hello. Hope you're all doing great. Question for tonight. What do you think the chances are we'll get more shops opening that will sell physical media? Ooh, that is a hard question. Well, if we say charity shops, yes, there's more likely to be more charity shops. But shops like H&B, I very much doubt it. Unless streaming kind of collapses in years to come, then we might see a rebirth of like the physical media shops and rental shops. But as it is now, I can't see it. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm the same, Pete. I've got my fingers crossed every day that streaming will fall in on itself. I hope it does. But yeah, I can't see it myself. Can't see, physical getting an increase. Shops, the high street getting a more presence of shops that are selling physical media. Sadly, I just can't see it.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't really see it. I mean, we seem to have shops that used to sell physical media that just don't now, like all the Tesco, Asda, all those kinds of places. So yeah, I can't see it at the moment, but maybe in the future.
What about you, David, in the US? What's it like there?
It's horrible, Pete. It's there's hardly any shops now that carry any physical media or any really good selection. In my area, I estimate that shops like Best Buy, Target, Walmart, they're going to stop in the next year to where they're not even going to have any physical media in store. So the only way you're going to be able to buy it is online.
It's such a shame because when you go into a shop, it is kind of an experience to go in there. You'll go in for one title and end up picking one or two more. And you're also supporting local stores, keeping people in jobs. And it is a shame if they all just close down. I did see on YouTube a few days ago that they're saying that Target are clearing out, doing real deep sales on their Blu-rays and 4Ks.
Yeah, it's awful. I went to our Target here recently, and after I didn't watch Jurassic World, and yeah, their selection is maybe half of what it was a month ago. I think they're just getting rid of it. I think by the end of this year, Target will no longer have any in-store physical media.
It's such a shame it is because you go back a few years ago before the pandemic, everywhere would have loads. If you go back 20 years ago, it was incredible. There was loads of shops, even in the UK, we had like the Virgin Megastore and like Blockbusters. But now, bar H&V and bar CEX, there's nothing really much else here. What about you, Scott? What do you think?
Yeah, I can't really see there being any more physical media at the moment, unfortunately. But I would love to see it happen, of course, because I'm a big fan of supporting physical media. But yeah, I can't really see it happening at the minute, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is a shame. But I did see on the news today they were talking about Netflix, and it seems to be they've lost about 1 million subscribers, and that could be a start of signs things are about to change because that market of streaming is overflooded. There's more new competitors coming in every single year. Netflix has lost like 1 million subscribers. Also, you're not allowed to share out your passwords now, I'm hearing. And also, they're thinking about bringing adverts in, which isn't really great considering you have to pay for it. And over here, Netflix is more than what Disney Plus is, and you have to pay extra on Netflix to stream in 4K, don't you?
Yes.
Yep. Oh, I haven't had Netflix for a little while, so I don't really know. But Disney Plus is £8 a month. You stream in 4K. Same with Amazon Prime, but obviously Netflix, I think it's about £13 a month here in the UK, and to stream on 4K, which kind of seems to be a lot. I think if Netflix put down the prices a bit more and release some of their shows physically, it would help make up that money instead of adding adverts into their shows. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Their advert is supposed to be a way that you can actually come in for less money to do the advert thing, almost like what Peacock does for free, where they allow you to come in and watch some things, but you get advertisements and whatever. But yeah, I pay $15.95 a month for Netflix, and I'm thinking about dropping it. And I pay what $7.99 for Disney Plus. So
that's half the price. It's way expensive. It is for Netflix. What about you, other guys? Do you subscribe to Netflix, Andy?
I do and I don't. I have someone who I share the password with. But I have Amazon, so I share that with them. So it's like it's split 50-50. But yeah, it's actually, I think studies have shown to us like quite recently that it is cheaper to collect physical than it is to be subscribed to all of these services. To be honest, I think there's just too many. And I just don't know how the average person can afford to be subscribed to all of these streaming services. And there's more sprouting up. Like, we've just recently got the new Paramount one.
Yes. There's nothing much on that one for the money.
Yeah, it's insane. I just think it's going to blow up on itself. I think they just won't get the finances they want. People won't subscribe anymore if they're going to bend and change the rules, and it'll blow up in their faces. And I hope it does. But yeah.
I think the big testament with Netflix is when Stranger Things officially finishes, because bar that and probably one or two other shows, there isn't really that big show that gets a lot of people excited like Stranger Things, probably Squid Games, is it Sex Education, bar them. There's not many other big shows and the films, shall I say?
There'll be a big dip when Stranger Things officially finishes. Massively for Netflix.
Yeah. And I do wonder whether, like with Amazon, they're taking a very big risk with their streaming service with this Lord of the Rings show. What happens if that flops?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a worry. I know they did say themselves they're plowing in like billions and billions of dollars in trying to make these big budget shows. But what happens if they end up losing money? That will probably be the start of the end of the streaming. It could all fold into themselves, but I honestly don't know.
I mean, I'd give anything to get a Blockbuster store back. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
me too.
I would.
People are telling me here in town. I live in a very small town in Central California, and people are like, could we rent movies from you? Can you be our Blockbuster for for a while? People are offering to rent movies, just come over and rent movies, and I'm like, I should make cards or something, so little membership cards and things like that, and have people come over. But yeah, I live in a town of maybe 1,500 people, and they all know me. They knew that I worked at the video shop that we did have here in town, but it closed in 2007. And I have about 7,000 movies. So if they want to come over and rent something, then okay, well, I can make a little money back from how much I've spent on this stuff.
That sounds good. I do wonder whether like rental services like Blockbusters will slowly make a comeback, and it'll be like a little sort of a niche shop. There'll only be one or two here and there, and a lot of people with nostalgia and interest over it will do it, and then word will spread, and then it'll slowly make a big comeback.
I hope so.
Well, we can all live in hope. Next up, we've got DVD and Film Bloke says, I'll get the recent watches out of the way. I saw Joe, the Peter Boyle film, which was great. Just a shame people who saw it at the time missed the point of the film. Have any of you guys seen that film?
I haven't, no.
Never even heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
You haven't heard of it?
No.
No. And he's also seen Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. Have you guys seen that one? I haven't.
I have.
Yeah,
I have. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Yeah, great.
You enjoyed it, Scott?
Yeah, loved it.
Awesome. And you've seen it as well, haven't you, Andy?
Yeah, I've seen it a long time ago. It needs a rewatch from me.
Yeah. I could stand a 4K of that if they ever do it. I wouldn't mind a 4K of that.
Oh, it sounds good.
We lost Mike.
We lost Mike.
And Mike's out. Apocalypto.
Well, it's definitely a film I need to watch. Everybody's seen it, bar me, which is pretty typical. But here he is. He's back. Hey, Mike.
He's back. He's hung up on us.
Oh. Right. Soph's here saying, evening, gents. Just demolished a McDonald's as I'm slowly getting my taste back. Well, it's great to hear, Soph, and I'm glad you enjoyed your meal. I had a cheeky McDonald's last night.
I don't know why McDonald's would be your choice, but they're doing something with their menu here in the U.S. I don't know if you guys are doing that. If you get the app, they're actually offering a McFlurry sandwich, which is the McFlurry ice cream with 2 chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
and okay. My 5-year-old brain is going, And then an apple pie McFlurry where they actually take the apple pie and shove it into the McFlurry and mix it about. So
that sounds like something my dad already does with an apple pie McFlurry. But yeah, that does actually sound nice. When you said a McFlurry sandwich, I was like, oh, not like the Big Mac burgers. Oh,
yeah, it was like with a burger bun.
Nice.
I was like, what did they do with that sounds horrible. But when I read up on it, I was like, oh, okay, with the cookies, I'm down for that. That sounds nice.
That sounds very delicious. Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully McDonald's over here do it, but I don't think they do they?
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be just for July, so I guess it ends at the end of the month.
Ooh. Surf says, DVD and Film Bloke, hello James, I watched that recently, that's brutal but good, it must be Apocalypto. DVD and Film Bloke says, Prince of Darkness as well, which honestly I was a little bit disappointed with, it's still good, what do you expect from Carpenter, but it's probably my least favourite of his. Have you guys seen Prince of Darkness?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts on it? You enjoy it, Scott?
One of my favourites. That one.
Yeah. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like Prince of Darkness.
Andy?
Yeah, really good. Alice Cooper is creepy in that movie.
Wait, what? Alice Cooper's in it?
Yeah. Alice Cooper's creepy anyway, but he was really creepy in this movie.
But especially in Prince of Darkness, like he's creepy.
Okay. I have a copy of that. I will be watching that very soon. You've sold me now with Alice Cooper.
Pete's going to sign off now and go watch that. I'll be back in 2 hours, guys.
Harry says, evening, Surf. Sub says, evening, Harry. DVD from Filmblock says, hi, Surf. Which one, Apocalypto or Joe? I mean, both are very fucking brutal. And Surf says, Apocalypto? Marvel fans here saying, hey, guys, how are you? Have you pre-ordered Monsters Go Home on Blu-ray, which is out on Monday? I haven't pre-ordered the Monsters film on Blu-ray. May pick it up when it's cheap. But let's just say I'm very excited for that new Monsters film from Rob Zombie, especially now it's going to Netflix. Subscription added to Netflix. Thank you. Any of you guys looking forward to Monsters Go Home or the new Monsters film? Andy?
No, I didn't know it was coming out on Monday, but yeah, this new Rob Zombie film, it looks something. Yeah.
It's a movie, all right.
Yeah.
What about you, David? What do you think of the Monsters movie?
I'm not interested. I'm really not. It's I wasn't a fan of the series back when I was a kid, so and I'm kind of dating myself again, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the Rob Zombie movie or in Go Home. No. I'm just gonna stay home and not buy it.
What about you, Scott? You looking forward to the film and this new Blu-ray?
Not really. I don't really know much about the Monsters, to be honest. I never watched the series, so I don't really have too much to say on it.
Yeah, that sounds good. What about you, Mike?
So this Monster Go Home, is that one of the TV movies? Like series?
I think it may be. If I remember correctly, it is in colour. It is. I think it's the only one to be in colour.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I don't really know too much about the Monsters. I am kind of curious about the Rob Zombie movie, just because I want to see what his take on like a PG-rated movie is, because all of his other movies are like so brutal and violent and vulgar, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with a kids movie.
Yep, it might be from as brutal as out to as sickly as sweet. I don't know. It'll be an interesting, shall we say, experiment for Rob Zombie.
Like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one more than the Monsters.
That one I'm interested in.
Yeah. DVD from Filmbloke says, I also watched this weird 80s horror called The Carrier. I think the best way to describe it is a Monty Python sketch played straight, and it was really funny all the same. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
It sounds familiar. I think I've seen it, but I know I don't have it.
Again, I haven't heard of this one, but no one's seen it.
Yeah, I think it was 88. That's when it came out.
Oh. Right.
Yeah, I'm reading the plot. No, it doesn't seem familiar. Maybe I haven't seen it. But it sounded familiar.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
DVD from Film Bloke also says, I took a bite of the H&V Premium Sale and ordered Time After Time, Running on Empty, The Haunting from 63, and Soylent Green. Good little haul there, mate.
Yum.
They're all good movies then.
Yeah. I know Andy's a big fan of Running on Empty, and I picked up that one at the weekend, and I'm looking forward to watching that one.
Running on Empty's great. Soylent Green has one of the most messed up endings ever.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's set in 2022.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh wow.
So enjoy.
Yeah.
Free food for everybody.
I think I'll leave that one and buy it next year, so it's set in the past.
I think I'm gonna wait.
The Haunting, didn't they remake that one with Liam Neeson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
Owen Wilson, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I actually have that one. That's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I mean, if you're not the biggest fan of Owen Wilson, you'll probably like that film, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah, for good reason. I like the 63 one. The 63 one's really nice.
I'll have to give the 63 one a go.
Film.
What about you, Mike? Have you seen any of these films?
Yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah, I really like Time After Time and Running on Empty. I've got to admit, I don't really like The Haunting.
No.
Yeah, I just wasn't really a big fan of it. And Soylent Green, yeah, I remember that being pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. And what about you, Scott? Have you seen any of these films?
Yeah, I've heard of all of them, but the only one I've seen is Running on Empty, and I thought that was an absolutely incredible film.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to have to watch that one soon. DVD even Fumble says, can't wait for them to arrive. Time After Time is the one I'm looking forward to based on the plot alone. Awesome.
Nice.
Sounds good. We have Rehan here saying, hey there. Hey, Rehan. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah. We have The View with Drew here saying, hey, what's up? Hey, Drew. Thanks for joining, mate. We have, when my phone loads up, does it load up? I think it's loaded up now. Brian Drums here saying, hey guys, thanks for joining, Brian. Why there was a delay was, weirdly enough, I had a notification about McDonald's about a new McFlurry. Fair enough. Oh dear. We have Surf here saying, Scott, can I adopt you?
Unfortunately not, Sophie, sorry.
And DVD from Filmbox says, and yes, Andy was the reason I ordered Running on Empty.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, because I think it's a fantastic film.
River Phoenix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Judd Hirsch.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Great cast. We've got Carlos here, Eastwood for Life fan here, saying, hey Pete, Mike, Andy, and the special guest. Thanks for joining, Carlos.
Carlos?
Yeah. I'm glad the picture is Clint Eastwood and not Scott. Just saying. But
we've got Matt H here saying, hey guys. Hey Matt, thanks for joining. We've got AJ's Movie Place here saying, hey all. Hey AJ, thanks for joining. DVD from Film Blokes asked, how have you guys coped with the hot weather? Thankfully, they weren't lying when they said it peaked yesterday because it was a lot cooler today. Well, I haven't coped very well. I ended up spending most of the day on Monday asleep because I ended up getting the flu. Yesterday, I was boiling. I ended up asleep on the floor. I've gone for about 2 boxes of 10 iced lollies in the past 2 days and 2 tubs of Ben & Jerry's. I'm coping moderately well. But today's been much cooler. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I don't know. Just having lots of fans on, I guess, is the main thing. And I probably should try it, but watch cold-themed movies.
Could watch The Thing, I suppose. That'd be quite cool.
Batman and Robin.
Day after tomorrow, you could do that.
Yeah. What about you, David? How have you been in this season? Or this is like normal summer heat for you, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just normal for me. It's not. I deal with this every year, but like I said, bucket of ice water, putting your feet in it, cools you right down.
Oh, here's Mike again. He's back.
Mike's back.
Sorry.
That's
you're,
my sound.
Yeah.
You're okay. I'm sitting near the freezer now and keep opening the door, feeling the nice cool air from the freezer. It's helping quite a bit.
Yeah.
But what about you, Scott? How have you been coping in the heat?
Just been drinking a lot, keeping hydrated, using a cooling tower as well.
Absolutely. I've got a 2-litre bottle of water here, and I'll probably end up drinking this all tonight. And how about you, Mike? How have you been keeping in the heat?
Yeah, just same as everyone else, really. I've been spending a lot of time downstairs because in my house is very cool downstairs, but it's very hot upstairs. So, yeah, just been drinking lots of water. Yeah, staying hydrated. Yeah, the usual stuff.
Sounds like the best thing to me. I mean, I did wondered whether to think about actually sitting in Costa all day in the air conditioning, but it probably wouldn't be the best idea. Oh. Eastwood for Life fan Carlos says, "What's your favourite all-time comedy movies?" Ooh. You want to go first, Andy?
Sure, for me. There's a couple that are a staple for me. The Naked Gun movies and the Wayne's World movies, I think, for me, are some of my go-tos. They just have me howling all the time. Dumb and Dumber as well. Yeah, they're probably mine.
Some great picks there. What about you, David?
My favorite comedy of all time is Real Genius with Val Kilmer and of course Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's like one of my favorites. Also Evolution with David Duchovny and Orlando Jones. That's my favorite comedy scene of all time is in that movie. I bust out laughing every time. And then Galaxy Quest would probably be
great one.
Another one.
Classic. Love that film. Such a great cast in it as well.
Yeah.
It's just aged so well. What about you, Scott? What about some of your favourite comedy films?
First Bueller's Day Off, one of my favourites. Grew up watching that quite a lot. Praising Autumn as well as a classic. Pop's always been one of my favourites. Film. And Pie 2 as well. I used to watch that quite a lot.
Great selections of films there, mate. And what about you, Mike?
Yeah, just off the top of my head, Dumb and Dumber is definitely one for me. But I could say many Jim Carrey movies. I love the American Pie movies. I know they're not technically great films, but I just have a great time with them. I love Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Like all of their movies are just so much fun, and they've got such great chemistry. Yeah, there's so many, but yeah, they're just some of them.
Sounds like a great mix of films there, Mike. As for me, let's think. I do like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I do have to agree with Galaxy Quest, but another one I do like is Weird Science. I watched that for the first time this year, and I just thought it was absolutely hilarious.
That's
Yeah, it was a good film. Right. Now we have Mike from Digizzy that saying, no movie picking from his shelf this week for Andy. However, I have a question for you all. What's a movie you've watched recently that you think is underrated and would recommend? Right. Anybody want to go first, or
come to me last?
Come to you last.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first. As he recently passed away, I'll say James Caan's Thief. I think it's an absolutely superb film. Loved it. Watched it first time a few weeks ago, just after the news of his passing. Loved it. Really good film, and you can see how it inspired films like Drive. Such an atmospheric film with a fantastic soundtrack. What about you, Mike?
I'll probably go with one of the premiums that I picked up recently. I'll go with Innocent Blood. I thought that was a pretty good movie, and
the vampire movie.
Yeah. John Landis.
Yeah, I've
vampire
got that. Yeah,
I enjoyed
Robert Loggia's
it.
in it. Yeah, that's
that's a
great.
good movie. Yeah.
Oh, I need to pick that up on the premium. I was going to pick it up at the weekend, but unfortunately the copy they had in my local one was all undone, so I might have to order that one online. It looks like a lot of fun. It's John Landis, so it should be a great time.
It's got like a great mix of genres. It's like gangster movie, comedy, horror. It's got like a lot of different things going on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I definitely will have to give that one a go. And what about you, Scott?
I watched the Red Coach fairly recently, which I thought was an incredible film. Great performance from Kevin Bacon. It's had a really creepy film as well, so I definitely recommend that one.
Yeah,
And
that sounds good.
Bad Dreams as well was a really good horror film that I watched recently. I thought was quite underrated.
Oh, that sounds good as well. I mean, Kevin Bacon, he really... I've never really been a big fan of him ever since he'd done his EE adverts, but I've been watching a few of his stuff recently, and it's very good, especially the film Death Sentence. Superb, that film is.
Oh, and it's...
Yeah.
Should watch The Woodsman. That's a very powerful film with him in.
And I've also heard he's very good in Wild Things. I've heard that film's good for other reasons as well. What about you, David?
Well, I watched it. I'd have to say Bombshell is one that I didn't expect would be that good. And I really turned my nose up at it because of the subject matter with the whole Fox News scandal and everything. I didn't care about that. But after watching it, that's great. I would definitely watch that again. The acting in that movie was just superb. And then Whiplash, I like that a lot more than I thought I would. With J.K. Simmons, he was amazing. He definitely deserved the Oscar for supporting actor that he got. So yeah, those would be the two I'd recommend that I watched recently.
Yeah, that sounds good. Isn't what's her name in it? Charlize Theron in Bombshell as well.
Yes, she was amazing. She nailed it.
Oh.
And Charlize Theron, Margot Robbie, Nicole Kidman. I mean, just a real John Lithgow. He did amazing. It was a really great cast.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell's in that as well, isn't he? Plays
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'll definitely have to give that one a go because that's a fairly recent film, a couple of years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. What about you, Andy? What about you? What are some of your picks?
Yeah. For me, there's a movie. I think it's from 1985. It's got a different title in the US, but here it's called Catholic Boys. I think in the US it's called Heaven Help Us. It has an unbelievable cast. It has Andrew McCarthy, Donald Sutherland, Wally Shaw, John Heard, Patrick Dempsey's in it. Evil Ed from Fright Night's in it as well. It's what's his name? Kevin Dillon, Matt Dillon's brother. He's like the lead actor in it. It's a phenomenal movie that never ever really gets talked about. Sort of about these five lads at this really strict Catholic school in the 50s. It has an unbelievable ending, great opening, but it's just such a shame it never ever really gets talked about. It's quite a rare film to find as well, but it's brilliant from start to finish. Another movie from my childhood that I really like, and I want to give this movie a rewatch, but I think it's quite underrated. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's a movie called Teen Agent, or in some parts of the world, I think it's called If Looks Could Kill. And it's like this sort of James Bond, not parody movie, but it's about this kid who gets mistaken for this agent because they both have the same name. And he ends up getting mistaken for this secret agent, and it's kind of funny what happens, but it's really underrated. I don't know if you know the actress Linda Hunt. She's just it's terrifying in it. But yeah, it's this villain. She has this necklace, but it turns into a whip, and it's just like it's really quite an underrated film. It's not great.
That's Richard Grieco, right?
Richard Grieco, yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I saw that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was fun. I enjoyed
It's
that.
got Roger Daltrey in it as well. Very small role in the movie.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's not great, but it's fun. Yeah.
Oh, sounds like great picks there.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. The Viewer Drew says, "What are your top 5 favourite movies of the 1990s?"
How long have you got?
I don't know. Who wants to go first? Do you want to go first, Scott? Just name some films off the top of your head.
Misery's got to be up there for me. Also,
Yeah.
and maybe Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, great films. Any others?
Maybe Pulp Fiction.
Still need to see Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction? Pulp Fiction.
I'd be down to watch Pulp Fiction.
Oh, brilliant. What about you, Mike?
Batman Returns is one. It's one of my favorite. Well, it is my favorite Batman movie, so I'd say that one. Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh, good movie.
Yeah, I love that film. Probably Heat. Carlito's Way. Yeah, how many is that? 4. We've had Pulp Fiction, so I'll just say True Romance.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah. Good pick. Good pick there. David, what about you?
Well, first movie that came to mind was The Matrix. But I got to go Shawshank Redemption. Silence of the Lambs would be another one that I really liked. Audition, the Japanese horror film.
Ooh.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
And Goodfellas. I think I'll throw Goodfellas in there.
Ah, good mix of films there. Nice pick with Audition. I still need to see that, but I've heard it does get quite twisted nearing the end.
It does.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy?
Dances with Wolves. I love that movie. Good Will Hunting. What else? Toy Story.
Yeah.
I'm going to say A Simple Plan as well. I adore that movie. And obviously Boogie Nights.
Oh, I wonder why. Yeah, one of your favourites.
Yeah.
For me, Dances with Wolves. Cool. Toy Story 2, I'll say, because that's in the 90s, isn't it?
Yeah, 99, yeah.
Oh, well, just in. Dances with Wolves, Toy Story 2, True Romance, Tremors. Oh, and what else? Oh dear, I am completely hitting a blank here now. Probably The Matrix. And yeah, after the stream, I can list you a whole load of them. That's normally how it goes. I would look on my computer, but unfortunately my computer's absolutely frozen as the heat's got to it as well. We have the DVD and film bloke here saying Monty Python and the Holy Grail, no doubt about it. Great film.
Yeah.
We have Soph here saying, thanks, Andy, for the recommendation for Reality Bites. I shall take that to Jason's to watch together. Awesome.
I hope you enjoy it. It's got a great cast. It's very 90s, but it's a movie I really enjoy. Directed by Ben Stiller as well.
Winona Ryder's in it, yeah?
Yeah, Winona Ryder. Ben Stiller's actually in it as well as directing it, and Ethan Hawke.
I'm already sold with Winona Ryder. We've got Josh here from Classic Reviews saying, hey guys. Hey Josh, hope you're doing well, mate. We've got Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection here saying, what up guys? Thanks for joining, Mike. We've got DCR 80 Gaming here saying, bonjour gents. Hey mate, thanks for joining. Mike says, hey, Classic Reviews, HA Movie Place, Soph, and the Viewer Drew, and anyone else I know. Right. DVD and Film Box says, Kentucky Fried Movie is great, Mike. The friend I watched it with saw it before Enter the Dragon, and he can't take Enter the Dragon seriously.
Yeah, there's a really long sketch that's basically a spoof of Enter the Dragon. Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll have to give that one a watch. And for some reason, I just thought it was about KFC, but obviously I'm wrong. Josh says, how are you doing to Mike? Drew says the same to Mike. Mike's talking to Drew and Josh. Carla says, as UK releases go, a lot of the comedy classics from the 80s and 90s, we don't seem to get the prior Wilder movies in the UK on Blu-ray. One has to get the US or the Australian releases. That is very much true. You don't seem to buy them on Blu-ray.
I don't think you can get any of them on Blu-ray here. I've got them all on DVD.
Yeah. Might be able to get like a German import, because I know in Europe they're probably the ones that get the most Blu-rays, but no, I don't think I've ever seen any. The only sort of Gene Wilder film I've seen on Blu-ray is probably Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Right. Mike says, I saw the trailer for Rob Zombie's The Monsters. It looks like it has the budget of a 2-year-old's birthday party. Name terrible movie that you've all seen recently. Well, that trailer for The Monsters felt like a movie. It did. And it was only 2 minutes. But, terrible movie. Can you guys think of a terrible film you've watched recently? Do you want to go first, Scott?
I don't think I watched any recently. I think the last one I might have watched that was really bad was 9 Lives.
Weren't keen on that one?
No.
What about you, Mike?
So there's that Dracula movie, the Dario Argento one. That was pretty bad. I watched another movie recently. It wasn't terrible, but I didn't think it was great. It's a movie called The Counselor, directed by Ridley Scott.
That's Michael Fassbender, right?
Yeah. It was okay, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that one before. I don't think I've heard the greatest things about it.
Yeah, it's got a great cast, but yeah, that's about it.
I know there's another one with Michael Fassbender I did watch a few months ago called The Snowman. That wasn't very good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly recent one. That is about 5 years ago, but that wasn't that good. What about you, David?
It was a rewatch for me. It was The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension, and I remember liking it as a kid. But boy, I put that movie in recently. I was like, oh man, what happened? So that was disappointing. I can't say I thought Morbius or Love and Thunder were terrible, but they were really low end for MCU. So those would be the other two.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And what about you, Andy?
Yeah, sure. Mine's a movie that I've never really sort of liked, but I rewatched it the weekend, and I've kind of gained a new appreciation for it. Like, to me, it will always be the weakest of this franchise, but I did actually kind of enjoy it on rewatch, and it's Rocky V. I thought it actually had some good moments in it. For me, it will never overtake the first 4, in my opinion, for enjoyability, but it did have some moments in it that I was like, this is a lot better than I remember it. Still not a perfect movie by far, but had some good moments in it.
Yeah, I remember watching that, was it last year or the year before? And that one was always a struggle for me to get through, but definitely want to give them a rewatch again. And I've heard the Rocky films are getting a 4K transfer later this year, which is cool.
Hope so. Andy, would you say that 5 was better than 6, though?
No. I'd still say 6 was good, but 6 to me was a bit late to the party because I grew up with the first 5. Like, that's the chunk I know so well and go to. But 6 is like its own good movie. Like I kind of count it as like the Creed movies. It's like its own thing.
Okay.
Because the first 5 were just such a close net watch for me as a kid. Those first 5 movies, but I'd say the bits with Tommy Gunn are actually really good. Because I actually really like the scene where he gets in the ring for the first time and you actually see like how ferocious this guy is. And like Rocky's like, whoa, calm down, take it back.
You're just sparring. You're not gonna try to kill the guy. Yeah.
Like that bit's really good, but some of the other bits are a bit of a slug to get through. But there is some merit there to be had with that movie.
Yeah,
nice.
I definitely have to give that one another rewatch later on down the road. But another bad film I'm thinking of watching, well, it should give me it by the title of it, Mega Shark Extra Large or whatever it's called. It's got had Danny Trejo in it. Had Danny Trejo in it. It was on the Horror Channel. It was in the afternoon. It had terrible CGI and terrible acting. What more did I expect? It had a great title, Mega Shark XL. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Mum. Just open the window because it's hot now. Have you guys seen Mega Shark XL, whatever it's called?
I can't say that I have.
No.
Oh, you're missing out on a treat. We have Neo here saying, Pete, being a gamer, what's your thoughts on the Netflix Resident Evil show? Fortunately, I haven't got Netflix, so I haven't actually seen it yet. I haven't heard the greatest of things, but I have heard some people enjoying it. Have you guys seen the Resident Evil show? David?
No.
No? Scott?
No, yeah, I've heard mixed reviews. Some like it, some don't.
Yeah, some people say it starts off all right and then it just falls apart near in the end. What about you, Scott? Have you seen it?
I haven't, no. I love the games, but I never really paid much attention to the films or the show.
Yeah. I don't mind the films. The films are sort of a guilty pleasure. Even the newer one, which wasn't that good, I didn't mind. It was all right. It's a bad film that I don't mind.
It's a good 4K transfer, though.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's a Sony.
The sound is
release.
really good. Yeah, but yeah, and I think a lot of it was a little closer to the game than I thought it would be.
I think it tried too hard to mix two games together. It really should have focused on the first game, then the second one, then the third one. But I know it teases a sequel. Whether it gets a sequel, I don't know, because some of the CGI in that film was a bit rough. Josh has seen the Resident Evil show, and it's not too bad so far. It's good you're enjoying it. We have, okay. It's going to be banned. Right, we have Carlos saying, throw a mama from the train, 3 fugitives, and Down and Out in Beverly Hills needs a UK Blu-ray release in the UK, please. Yeah, I've never heard them films before, but they sound interesting.
I have, they're good. Yeah.
Interesting title for Throw Mama from the Train. What's
that's Danny DeVito.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal. That's basically, Danny DeVito's mother's really smothering, and they kind of plot to kill her.
Yeah. It's kind of like a loose remake of Strangers on a Train.
Oh.
It's kind of like a modern remake of that.
Oh, that actually sounds really good. I'll have to keep an eye out for these titles.
And then, 3 Fugitives is Martin Short and Nick Nolte, I think.
Wow.
Oh, great. Right, I just have to put somebody in timeout. They're being a one big pain instead of being a one big Johnson. But anyway, Matt V Movie says, good evening. Good evening, Matt. Hope you're doing well, mate.
Hi, Matt.
We have Jules here saying, good evening, gents, especially Mr. Poldark. How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining, Jules. I hope you're feeling okay. Yeah, we're okay. We're all surviving the heat, I suppose. We've got Mike DVD and Blu-ray collection here saying, hey, Carlos. We have Paul here from Magpie Movies saying, sadly, the Netflix Resident Evil show is awful. Yeah,
See,
I've been
mixed
hearing
reviews.
Yeah, I'm hearing some really bad things about it. Some people seem to love it, some people seem to hate it, some people switched off entirely, but some of the things I've been hearing, it doesn't really win me over. I think if you're not a fan of the games, you might enjoy it, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We have Carlos here saying hi, Mike, and everyone in the comments section. We've got Jules here saying, yay, it's my mate Dudley. Wow, we must be about an hour behind. Wow. Right. We've got Brandon Turner here saying, hey guys, anyone picked up any of the 101 films AGFA releases? From what I've seen, all the films are good fun. I haven't. Have any of you guys picked them up?
No.
I've got a few 101 film collection, but not the other one.
Yeah, I have got a few 101s myself, but I haven't heard of AGFA. I'm struggling to find out what it means. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I've got a few 101. I haven't got any of the AGFA ones. I think they kind of have like green covers, like green and blue, that look like sort of, like the Black Label, but it's like a new sort of sub-label. But there's one movie from it that does sound interesting. It's called Effects, and I think it's got Tom Savini in it. And I think the guy,
I know which one.
Yeah, and it's got the guy who plays like the psychotic major or colonel or whatever he is from Day of the Dead. Yeah, I've heard that's meant to be quite a good movie.
Is it Joe Pilato?
Joe Pilato, yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. And what about you, David?
I own one 101 films release, and it's Johnny Mnemonic.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I've seen that's a fairly recent one that just come out on 101.
Yeah.
Would you say the film's worth a go with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, I would. I enjoy it. It's cheesy fun, but it's I do like the Blu-ray transfer from 101 Films. It's pretty nice.
That's good. That's good. I'll have to give it a go. Have you guys seen Johnny Mnemonic?
No.
I haven't yet. No. Know of it, but I've not seen it.
No,
Mike?
I was going to get that exact release that David's talking about because they had it in CEX for very cheap, but by the time I got there, somebody had picked it up before me, so I missed out. But I'm on the lookout for it.
I remember you said that I think last week, didn't you? You were going to get it from CX, and then somebody beat you to it.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully you can get a copy soon. I know they're doing a standard edition coming very, very soon, so probably get it.
Yeah.
I love the artwork on it. It's really nice.
It is. I do agree. Did they do a steelbook edition of it?
I didn't see a steelbook, but it's a hard case, the one I have.
That's probably the one I've seen, but yeah, the artwork does look really nice on that.
Mm-hmm.
Josh says, I've never played a Resident Evil game before, so I just base the series as a show, and it's not as bad as what people say. Yeah, that's probably why Josh is enjoying it quite a bit, because he hasn't played the games. But I'll give it a go. I'll try and watch it somehow and see if it's any good. Jill says, I personally can't wait to see Nope, the new Jordan Peele film. Yeah, that does look really good. I know in America it's coming out this week, but we've got to wait until August, unfortunately. You going to go see it, David?
I am probably not. It's that's one horror movies or something that I can't really get to see in the theater too often. So I'll probably wait till it comes out, like I did with Get Out and Us. I just wait till it comes out on physical and buy it.
Sounds good. What about you, Andy? Will you be watching it when it comes out in cinemas?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first two trailers were really good. I tried not to look at the third one because it started to sort of creep into showing too much. But yeah, I think it looks good. I'm really intrigued.
Yeah. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Think it's good. I love films as well, so hopefully this one will be good as well.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be good. And what about you, Mike? Are you going to go see it?
Yeah, I'll go see it. Yeah, like Scott says, I really like Jordan Peele as well. I like his other two movies. So yeah, I've heard this one's being described as like kind of like Jaws and like a Spielberg movie. which is
Yeah,
interesting.
I've heard that as well. Yeah. I think obviously the reviews will be dropping pretty soon now, as American audiences are about to see it. So I don't know what the reception will be like, but hopefully we can avoid spoilers before it comes out over here, which is the worrying thing with it being delayed for like 3 weeks from here. But I haven't seen Get Out or Us yet, so I definitely got to get around to that before watching Nope. So I'm going to give them a go. Which is your favourite out of Us or Get Out, Andy?
For me, it's probably Get Out.
Yeah. First
Just
film.
enjoyed that one a bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. David?
Same. Get Out. I think Get Out's a little bit better than Us. I liked them both, but
Scott?
I'd say Get Out as well. I love Us as well, but Get Out is a little bit better for me.
And what about you, Mike?
I'm going to say Us. I prefer Us over Get Out, but I like both of them.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I have got Us, but I haven't got Get Out, so I better get that one and give them both a watch. But they do look great. Right. Mike from Did You See That says Halloween ends ending. Calling it now. Laurie Strode kills Michael Myers. Someone picks up the mask in post credits. Blumhouse trying to get horror franchise rights for mega movie mashups. Michael Myers won't die. He'll come back. I'm pretty certain they've announced that they're going to do some more films later on in the decade. So it'll be interesting to see how this trilogy ends, and I hope it does end quite neatly, offering good payoff. But it wouldn't surprise me if they definitely bring Michael Myers back. But I just want the Laurie Strode story to end, if you get what I mean. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike's pretty much going to be spot on, to be honest, with what he said. I think that's very, very likely to happen. Yeah.
What about you, David?
I have my own wish for this, but yeah, I think Mike's on the right track with what's going to happen. But I don't think she's going to actually kill him. I think she's going to be the one to kill him, and then of course the body's going to disappear at the end, like it always does. But what I want is for Laurie Strode to kill Michael Myers and then don the mask, and then she becomes Michael Myers or Michelle Myers.
Ooh, that's a good ending. What about you, Scott?
Not too sure. To be honest, I've only actually seen the first 2 Halloween films. I haven't seen any of the others. So.
No, that's okay. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think it'll probably end and it will feel very conclusive, but then there'll be some sort of, can't think of the word, like some kind of cliffhanger. Like, I don't really know, not really too sure what, but yeah, it probably won't feel completely final, but we'll see.
No. We haven't got long to wait. It's coming out in October, and they shot it and completed it all in a year. So the turnover for that film was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. Paul says on the Resident Evil show is very much as bad as people say. It's shit.
Yeah, we're 2 and 2 so far.
Yeah. Definitely have to give it a go and see what it's like. But again, I'm thinking Paul has played the game, so that's probably the reason why he's not so keen on it. So I'll probably be on the same camp as Paul. Carlos has just echoed what Mike says. How do we all think Halloween will end? It won't end. It'll
It's not going to
continue.
end.
No, the mask will be picked up and it'll say Michael Myers will return sometime.
In Avengers 6. No.
Oh. It's owned by Universal, isn't it? Halloween. Is it?
Is it?
Is it Universal or Paramount? I think it is Universal.
I think it's Universal. Michael Myers will return in Fast 10 with the Jurassic World dinosaurs, everything put together just to show how much Universal's got. Oh.
He'll be getting his own spin-off show for the new Universal streaming platform.
There's a universal streaming
No,
platform. Oh dear. Yeah, there will be a mini-series as well as another mini-series about Laurie. Or they'll just expand it everything they can. We have Jason here, the old millennial. Do you prefer cinema or streaming? I find I'd rather stay at home and watch streaming and not spend the money out and gas to go out. Andy, what do you think?
See, this is tough because, well, I don't really like streaming. I'd choose between watching a DVD or a Blu-ray. But for me, cinema, I love seeing films on the big screen, but you always have that fear of going to the wrong screening and having people ruin the film for you, because that always happens. But with a movie at home, you're in the comfort of your own home. You can watch at your own pace. You're not being bothered. So there's pluses to both sides. It's tough.
Yeah. What about you, David?
I'm more of a physical media guy than streaming. I will watch streaming if I don't know, because I try not to blind buy anymore. I used to blind buy a lot, and I shot myself in the foot a few times. But I'll watch streaming only if I need to decide whether I want to buy the movie or not physical. I love going to the cinema. That would be my preferred method, but it's an hour one way to get to the nearest theater from here. So it's got to be, that's like a day activity to where I'm going to drive there, do some shopping, buy some physical movies that I want to get, and then I'll go catch a movie at the theater before I come home.
Yeah, I can get that. What about you, Scott?
Definitely prefer physical media streaming, but I would say maybe streaming over cinema, because obviously watching at home, I do prefer the cinema, but it just depends on the experience.
Yeah, very much so.
Dodgy experience, and then it just ruins the movie for you, and then it's not that good. But if you have a decent experience, then I definitely have to go with the cinema.
That's true. That's true, mate. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think on the whole, I probably prefer watching movies at home, because I think, like the other guys have said, just like going to the cinema, it can take quite a lot of effort, and it takes hours out of your day and things like that. But I will say that the one thing, when you go to a cinema, you're not distracted. Because I find when I watch a movie at home, even if I'm enjoying the movie, I know I will look at my phone every now and then. But you can't do that in the cinema. And I feel when I see movies in the cinema, I get more out of them when I see them in the cinema, because I'm just not distracted. Whereas at home, sometimes I'm not fully focused on the movie, even if I am enjoying it. So, but yeah, there's pros and cons for both.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Mike. Again, I have to agree with you all there. There's pros and cons with cinemas, especially where I live. There isn't really many about, and what there is here, they're very expensive. They're like 15 quid a ticket. Unless I want to travel quite far away out and then pay for car park, then pay for the tickets, then pay for like drinks and all that, it soon mounts up. And especially if you want to see a Disney title, you can wait a month and it's on streaming anyway, and you can sit at home, watch it in like the IMAX screen and everything, like with the Marvel films and with Lightyear. So you might as well wait. But I know there's a lot of films that are skipping streaming, like Top Gun, which you have to go and see at the cinemas. But definitely streaming is nicer than going to the cinema, but I definitely would prefer buying physical copies. The biggest problem with cinemas is you never know what the rest of the people are going to be like at your screening. They could all be polite and sit down and watch a film, or you could have people who are shouting and screaming all the time, and then you'll be like, oh, that's the problem. You never know what you're going to get. But then again, you could be watching it on streaming, and then your internet goes. So there you go. It swings and roundabouts both ways. We have Brett here from Walk On Always Believe saying, watch you guys, hope you're well. Hey, Brett, thanks for joining me. Edward says it looks like the new Rob Zombie, the Monsters movies will be released on Netflix. What's your thoughts? Brilliant. I ain't got to pay it, so yeah, I'll watch it. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go now. I was intrigued, but I wasn't going to see it at the cinema. But now it's on streaming, I'll give it a little go. So yeah. What do you think, Andy? Same?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's one of those movies. I think it's got terrible written all over it, even before anyone's seen it. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to rush out and see it unless we are all proved wrong, and it's like amazing. It's like the best film of the year.
Yeah. Could be.
Then I might reach out and see it. But
yeah, it might be winning Oscars for its set design and makeup. Yeah, right. But it could be a surprise. It could be like Chip and Dale. That didn't look great in its trailers, and that surprised.
That was all right, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. Same with you, Scott. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll give it a go, but I'm not too excited, to be fair.
Yeah, David.
Same. I'm not going to rush. I feel the same way about Monsters as I feel about the new Barbie movie with Ryan Gosling. It's okay. Yeah, I'm not. Even though I'm at home and I've got Netflix, I will try to find something else to watch.
Yeah. And Mike?
Yeah, I'm not really in a rush to see it. But like Andy says, this is where we're all proven wrong, and it's a masterpiece. But given Rob Zombie's track record, I'm not gonna hold my hopes out for that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could all be sitting here in October or September, whenever it comes out, and was like, go and see it. It's brilliant. But probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
We've got Jason, the old millennial here, says, I feel like the way they way overdo it on the preview trailers. When I was a kid, we got like 3 to 5 trailers. I swear now we get like 10 trailers. And I do agree, like with the Batman, we got like loads of teaser trailers coming up like the week before release. It was like every single day. And I know they're trying to get people excited for it, but they're overdoing it a bit. It's nice to go into a film not knowing too much and then being blown away, so to speak.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think there are like too many trailers these days, and they reveal too much. Like I said before, I was kind of scared about watching the Halloween one because I didn't want it to reveal, and I'm sure they'll probably release another one or another couple in the next few months, and I'll probably avoid them. I'll probably just stick with that trailer that I've seen and just wait for the movie to come out. But yeah, there's too many trailers these days.
Yeah. Scott?
Yeah, well, I agree. There's definitely way too many trailers.
Yeah.
Much as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're right there, mate. Andy?
Yeah, too many nowadays. And I think the problem with trailers is they just show too much. And there's too many of them.
Yeah, you know the film within 2 minutes, the plot and what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think 2 of the best trailers we've probably had in the last 10 years were probably Force Awakens and No Way Home. I think they were just 2 of the best ones that didn't give anything away, really. They just gave enough away. But still kept you guessing.
Yeah. I think
Have you seen the trailer for Halloween 3? Like the original Halloween 3. It's like I wish we'd had trailers like that. Like now where it's not even a scene from the movie. It's just it's like they've shot their own footage for the trailer.
Yeah. It's the one with the witch's mask, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then like a tarantula comes out the mask's mouth, and that's it. That's the trailer.
Yeah. And there's another one with Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. It's like there's like a girl sitting on a bed holding the like the dollhouse, and like the Freddy claw comes through the top of it. Just some really cool trailers from the 80s.
I remember the Exorcist trailer as well. That'll give you epilepsy, that one.
Yeah. Oh, the one that was banned. Yeah, creepy.
Yeah. What about you, David?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Too many trailers showing too much of the movie or showing parts of the movie that don't exist anymore. That's one thing that bugs me is you'll get a trailer and then you watch the movie and go, that, nothing from the trailer was in the movie. So, and if I'm drawn to the movie because of the trailer, and then you don't have that in the movie, then yeah, I feel like I've been gypped. What? This is my granddaughter Piper.
Hello, Piper.
Say hi. No. You just want me to be quiet?
Dr. Impossible says, I wish you luck with Beverly and Three Fugitives, but I'll watch them on Disney Plus. Oh, they're on there, so I'll give them a shot on their end. Oh, thanks, Dr. Impossible. We've got Sean here from Media Collector Madness saying, hey guys, hope you're all well and good. Hey Sean, hope you're doing well, mate. Richard's here saying, hey all, what do you think of the new Rob Zombie movie, The Monsters trailer? I think it looks terrible. Yeah, I think we pretty much all agree it doesn't look very good. We've talked about it quite a bit tonight.
I'm not holding my breath with that movie.
No. I expect to see it on many worst films of the year list. The viewer says, tell me if guys agree. T2, Fight Club, Jurassic Park, and Pulp Fiction are some of the best 90s movies. Yeah, I would say some of the best ones, definitely. What do you guys, do you agree?
Yeah.
Almost.
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 Oh, almost.
Yeah, Fight Club's the only one I don't like, but the rest of the other ones, yeah, I love them.
That's funny. Pulp Fiction's the only one I don't like.
Oh, I haven't seen Pulp Fiction or Fight Club yet, so I've got to get around to them. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot T2.
I know it's Quentin Tarantino's like home run, but yeah, I was not a fan of it.
Yeah, you do. I have heard a few people who aren't a fan of it. I know some of the people aren't keen on like how the film is paced and that, and some of the characters. But again, I haven't seen it yet, so I really do need to get around to it. I haven't seen a lot of Tarantino films. I think I've only seen 2. I think I've seen Kill Bill Part 2, which is really unhandy. I should have watched the first part, and Jackie Brown.
I've never met anyone who's disliked Terminator 2, though. Everyone praises that movie.
No.
It is a fantastic film. That and the first one. It is hard to choose between the first one and the second one, but I do like that first one a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
We've got Carlos says, would love to see a sensible ending and not an ending that will lead to another Halloween movie or even a bunch of Halloween movies years later, but I guess we will. Yeah, Halloween is a train that will not stop going. They'll continue pumping out movies years to come.
I think I'm going to have to go now, guys, by the way.
That's okay, mate. It's been a pleasure having you on, Scott.
Yeah, thank you for having me on again. It's been great.
Yeah, no
Great to meet you,
worries.
Scott.
See you guys. Bye.
See you later,
Bye,
Scott.
See you, Scott. Take care.
Thank you.
And then there was 4. Oh. Rogue says, I finally completed my David Lynch collection on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Aren't they doing Lost Highway, is it, on Criterion now? I think that got recently announced.
4K, isn't it?
Oh, is it 4K? I didn't know that.
I think so.
But yes. Yeah, I see somebody talked about it on Instagram, which is pretty cool. I still need to see that one.
It would suit Criterion, that movie.
The only thing about Criterion is the price.
Price, yeah.
DVD of Film Bloke says, yeah, bring back Blockbuster and maybe VHS.
Okay, hold on. Not VHS. But
I think I'll be a struggle to bring back VHS, but you never know.
Yeah. Bring back 8-track tapes while you're at it. Just, go full on with all the ribbon. Bring back Betamax. That's what.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's what we need. I would like to see more VHS movies moved to DVD and released, or Blu-ray or whatever. Because there's literally thousands of VHS movies that never made it to DVD.
That's true.
And some really great stuff.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be nice to give them films a second chance and get more people to see them in a new generation and that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Dr. Impossible says, as with everything in business, you streamline the business model to fit the needs. If the corp sense a change in public opinion, then they move up a gear. When they have to, they do. Yeah. I think you'll see some changes from Netflix very soon. Wouldn't surprise me at all. We've got Rogue here. Says, there used to be a Blockbusters in the shopping centre where I worked above the door linking to our shared loading bay. There's still a sign saying Blockbusters goods in the rear entrance of the unit. Oh, very interesting.
There's still a Blockbuster here in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, in Bend, Oregon.
That's cool.
And one of these days, I'm going to make a pilgrimage up there, and
that would be a cool trip.
Hopefully they're not closed by then. But yeah, I want to do that for one of my summer vacations or something.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Definitely would be. I know one of the old Blockbusters where I live is now like a block of flats, and somebody said when they were changing their wallpaper, they took the wallpaper off, and under it was like a Blockbusters, like all the wallpaper and all that, so they kept that up as a decor inside of their living room.
Nice.
It's like a time capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's. I'm not going to search it. I'm going to leave it. It's going to be my memories. When I'm down, I can always look at it and remember I now live in this place.
Mm.
Oh. We've got Evander here from Slayer Review saying, "Evening, gentlemen. Apologies for the clip. Michael stole my camera to get his 5 seconds of fame." Hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, that was a great clip. Definitely getting us pumped for Halloween ends. I know you're very excited for it, mate. Yeah,
right.
You're probably not. Okay. Moving on. Dr. Impossible says, streaming is very much an experiment with the public. COVID was the opening for watching films at home. Handy way to get the average cine fan hooked in. Yeah, I do agree. It's definitely pushed it forward, like literally 10 years COVID has. And now it's definitely much the new norm. But it'll be interesting to see how the following years pass out, because I know like cinemas are they struggling to get people back in? I don't know, because there's like films like Top Gun that have done really well, but other films like Lightyear haven't. So I think it's very up and down. We've got Radley Stark here saying, "Hey guys, hope you're all well. Best movie licensed video game, Clive Barker's Undying. Old but great, but not sure if Resident Evil counts as live-action movies don't reflect the games. Haven't heard of that Clive Barker film though, so I'll have to check that out." So what's your favourite video game movie, Andy?
Mine is the 95 Mortal Kombat. I adore that movie. It's one of the best soundtracks in movie history ever. That opening music is just phenomenal. I've never heard anything that has got me more pumped. I think, apart from maybe the Rocky IV soundtrack, it is just that music in that movie's great, and it's a lot of fun. It's not perfect, but it's just so cheesy and fun. And I just have a great time with it whenever I put it on.
I've got the theme song playing in my head now, and it's getting me pumped up now. It's such a great soundtrack. David?
Yeah, Andy totally stole mine, but yeah, the Mortal Kombat would be mine for sure. But if I didn't pick Mortal Kombat, and it's kind of weird because it really didn't have hardly anything to do with the game, is I got to go with Battleship. I love the action and the special. I recently got the 4K of that. The transfer is really nice. It's got great sound and stuff. But yeah, aside from one small scene, you don't get any real reference to the game itself.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, so best movie from a video game, I can't say there's really that many, but I'd probably have to go with Andy and say Mortal Kombat. It is a really, really fun movie. But I do like Super Mario Brothers as well. I know it's nothing like the games, but I have a good time with that movie. But my favorite game based on a movie, I really like the Mad Max game. That was
2015 one. Very underrated game, that is.
Yeah,
I did
it's a lot of
enjoy
fun.
that.
It's basically like you're living the movies. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, you can build your own car, drive about, getting all the sort of fights and that, and then it goes a bit Batman Arkham in the combat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Have you got a favourite video game? No, movie based on a video. No, game based on a movie of oh, whatever. David, I'm getting confused now.
The heat's getting to you, Pete.
It definitely is.
You know, the first thing that came to mind was X-Men Origins Wolverine. I enjoyed
I've
that
heard
game.
that's very underrated as well.
And I didn't care for the movie as much, but I did really like that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that came out 2009, I think. I remember a lot of people talked about the game being quite good.
Mhm.
Andy, have you got any?
I really enjoyed the game of Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
I actually had quite a fun time with that.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. That was created by the same developer who done the Rayman games, Michael Ansel. So yeah, some good pedigree behind that one. Yeah. For me, best movie video game, I do like the Detective Pikachu movie. I thought that was great, and I do like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and the second one. And I also don't mind the 2018 reboot of the Tomb Raider. I thought that was pretty decent. But as for games, there's quite a few. Obviously, GoldenEye's one of the highest ones. That's such a great game. I also don't mind some of the Cars games. Some of the Cars games are actually better than the films. But you got like the Star Wars ones. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith on the Nintendo DS is a fantastic sort of like beat 'em up from like the Streets of Rage 1990s beat 'em up, and that's a lot of fun. And there's some great Disney ones as well. There's too many to mention, and that's probably ending up going to be a video that I'm going to do later on down the line. I can think of loads. We've got Edward here saying, do we really need a Spider-Man No Way Home extended cut, or as it's called, the more fun stuff version? We're not getting much stuff added. I think they're only going to add about 15 minutes of extra footage in. I mean, as much as I love this film, I will definitely watch it, but I won't be going out to watch it again. I'll probably wait until a physical copy arrives and hope we get more of a special edition than what we actually got for like the standard Blu-ray and 4K. What do you think, Andy?
I think there's no point if it's just 15 minutes. There's no point to it. If it was maybe an hour, yeah, but 15 minutes, no, it's not really winning me over, to be honest. I think if it's only 15 minutes, I think the original cut's perfect as it is.
Yeah, I do agree there. What about you, David?
Yeah, I agree with Andy. I won't go see that. Although I love No Way Home. That's probably my favorite physical release of this year is No Way Home, because the 4K transfer is really nice on that.
Yeah.
But I'd probably get the physical movie, because if it's MCU, I just hand my wallet to them. But yeah, no, I won't go to the cinema to see that.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like a money-getting game that probably could have been included on the physical release when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the guys, really. Yeah, if it's only 15 minutes, it doesn't really seem worth it. I mean, if it wasn't good to be in the movie in the first place, like, why is it good now? But I'll probably pick it up at some point, because luckily enough for me, I haven't picked the movie up on physical yet. So I'll probably just get that version when it comes out.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Definitely does sound like a good plan. It does feel like when the film came out on physical, especially in the UK, it was rather a bog standard release. Even the bog standard 4K didn't really feel that special, shall I say, for the good film it is. No slip covers, no, not many special features, I thought, on the Blu-ray. Was there on the 4K, Andy?
I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. So it definitely felt like they were holding back a bit on that. So yeah, I can imagine that when this eventually comes out on physical, if they do release it on physical, they'll probably go all out, do a 3-disc set or something.
Yeah.
We have AP here from the Movie Cheer podcast saying, "Hey gents, hope you're all well. Who would you like to see play Doctor Doom in the MCU?" Hey AP. I don't know. Who would you like to see, Andy, playing Doctor Doom?
For some reason, this actor's just popped into my head. I think he might be too old, but I would love to see Billy Zane as Doctor Doom. I don't know why. Yeah,
it's a good pick. David?
I don't know why, but my first thought was Ezra Miller. I don't know why. That's the first thing that popped into my head. I'm like, yeah, he's a jerk. He can be Doctor Doom. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't mind seeing Doctor Doom a woman, actually. I don't know who I would get to play that part. Maybe Cate Blanchett.
Oh, you've sold me anyway now.
She's my favorite actress, and she could do any role.
Yeah,
so I could probably see her as Doctor Doom. I'd like that. I'd pay money for that.
Yeah, I would as well. You sold me at Cate Blanchett. What about you, Mike?
Honestly, I'm not really too sure. I don't really have much knowledge of like Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four. Like, isn't he mostly like behind a mask?
Yeah, I think so.
Metal mask.
Yeah, so I really couldn't say, to be honest. I don't have enough knowledge about the character, so yeah, I can't really say.
Yeah, I don't honestly know who to think, but I'm just thinking of somebody all in their 40s or 50s who hasn't been in an MCU property. I'm just randomly picking one. Kiefer Sutherland. Just a random guess.
That's random.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't got a clue. I'm just thinking of who hasn't been in an MCU property because it seems like everybody has these days. So I just picked him. We have Cora here saying evening, Cora. Hope you're doing well, mate.
All
right. Carlos says movie face off. Preferred movies and why? 48 Hours versus Tango and Cash, Beverly Hills Cop versus Red Heat, and Stir Crazy versus See No Evil, Hear No Evil. So, which ones you going for? What ones have I seen? I've only actually seen See No Evil, Hear No Evil, so I'll probably just have to say that film. I really enjoyed it, but I haven't seen none of the others. Shame on me.
I'm going to say Tango and Cash, Beverly Hills Cop, and See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Good picks. David?
Yeah, I'm going to go Tango and Cash, Beverly Hills Cop, and Stir Crazy.
Awesome. And Mike?
Yeah, the first two are easy for me. I'd probably say Tango and Cash and Beverly Hills Cop. The last one is really tough for me because I love both of the movies. I think Stir Crazy is the funnier movie, but See No Evil, Hear No Evil is probably the more entertaining movie. So it's like, which one do I choose? But I'd probably just have to go Stir Crazy.
Awesome. Great picks. We've got Bumpers Movies here. I took my family to a place called Margam Park a few weeks ago, and apparently the massive house there is one used in The Haunting. Not sure if it was the original or the remake, though. That's really interesting. That's cool. Brett says yesterday was so hot that places here in England had trees and some buildings on fire from the heat. It was on the news, yeah. I think it was like about 40 houses in London that got caught alight on fire. Shocking. DVD and Filmbook says, yeah, upstairs is worse for heat. I mean, during the wave, my bedroom was unbearable. It's right in the corner of the house, and all my DVDs and Blu-rays are stored there. None of them have disc rot, thankfully. Oh, that's good. Marvel fan says Tom Holland is apparently not reprising his role as Spider-Man in Spider-Man Freshman Year animated prequel series. Oh, is this a Disney Plus thing, is it? I haven't actually heard of this series before. I assume it's a Disney Plus thing. It probably wouldn't surprise me, but if it's an animated series, I probably might skip it. You guys heard of it?
No.
I've heard of it. I've something along the lines. I read something about it, but I wasn't that interested.
No.
I didn't hear anything about Tom Holland, whether he was going to do it or not, but I did hear about an animated series.
Yeah.
I think it is Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, I think if Tom Holland isn't doing it, I probably might skip it, but I'm not that bothered, to be fair. Dr. Impossible says, do any of you have a good American international picture film to recommend? Mine was Dillinger with Warren Oates. Ooh. Now, what are these films? I'll have to check on my computer if it works.
American international picture film.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought that meant, just American films, because I can
Yeah.
I can totally recommend. But no, there's a list.
Oh.
Yeah, House of Usher really comes to mind with Vincent Price. When I'm looking at it, I like that.
American.
Probably the
and the Pit and the
movies.
Pendulum. Yeah, I'm like the Edgar Allan Poe stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, they're good films. What about you, Mike? Have you seen any?
Yeah, I'd have to go with similar to David, like the Edgar Allan Poe movies. But I think they got Black Sabbath here, which is a really, really good anthology horror movie. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah. I just saw the original Amityville Horror is on there too, so I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's on there. What else is on here? I did see one that I have seen. The Abominable Dr. Phibes. I didn't mind that one. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Incredible Melting Man.
Oh yeah. Oh, quite a few of these are actually on Arrow, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
David Even Film Bloke says, Mike, I guess my choice would be Joe. It's basically a film about hippie culture from a different perspective. Peter Ball plays a bigot who becomes friends with a guy who murdered a drug dealer. Ooh. Right, we've got Scotty's movies here. Evening, guys. Evening, Scott. Thanks for the subscriber now. The video will be up later this week.
Is that the one that did the video in the beginning? The face looks similar. That first video that you did in the beginning. I'm probably wrong, but I see this little blip in the corner of the screen, but I thought that was the same guy.
Oh no, that's Jim Jam Movies and TV. Scotty's a different channel. I was confused for a second. The heat's still getting to me. I was like, what movie? Yeah. Right, you say, evening guys, great to hear Andy mention Teen Agent. Love that film, great film. Not seen it in ages, so forgot about it till now. Need to find it. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, that movie.
We have David Even Film Bloke saying the ending of Joe is really fucking grim. It's a shame not a lot of people have seen it. I'll try and give it a watch, but if it's too grim, I might skip it.
If it's too grim, I don't know if I want to watch it now.
That's true. Carl says, The Visitor, The Evil Eye, The Girl Who Knew Too Much. Right. Dr. Impossible says, and finally, do any of you have a desire to be brave and recommend Pedro Almodovar's film Live for Flesh, which was a great stuff from the Spanish master of cinema, Andy or Mike? What is this film?
Yeah, he's done some really good stuff. He does a lot of stuff with Penelope Cruz, mainly. Yeah, what is it? Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. That's a pretty good movie.
Oh my days, that's not safe for work. I'll back turn that off quickly. I just pressed on Google Images because nothing came up, and I was like, yep, I'll back turn that off quick. Well, yeah, that's certainly interesting stuff, shall we say? Yeah. Javier Bardem's in it as well.
Yeah,
Penelope
he does a lot of
Cruz's
stuff with
husband.
him, and Antonio Banderas as well.
Mm.
Does a lot of stuff with him.
Mm.
Yeah, All About Mother is a pretty good movie that he's done. There's a movie that he produced, which was just totally against the type of movies that he makes. I think it's called Action Mutant, and it's sort of about these group of mutants, and it's like they've been segregated because like the world has sort of like evolved into like only beautiful people can exist. So these mutants they come into like this world where like these beautiful people exist, and they kidnap like the president's daughter, and it's just batshit insane. It's a movie that never ever really gets talked about, and it's just so bizarre and so wonderful.
Oh,
But yeah,
it
it's
sounds
so
good.
the cover is like, you know, the disabled sign, like the stick man in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's that with him holding a machine gun. Like that's just the poster. Like it's such a cool movie.
Wow.
There's a bit in it that's really grim where this guy's getting tortured and he's being sliced open with this razor blade, and the guy's just pouring vinegar all over the cut. I'm like, oh,
Ooh.
yeah. But it's such a cool looking movie.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. What about you, Mike? Have you seen any of his films?
No, I've not seen any.
No. David?
I didn't even know his name at first. The Skin I Live In with Antonio Banderas, I saw that. But I can't tell if I don't think I've seen anything else by him.
Right. Radley says most out there movie experience, meaning original concept and execution. I thought coherence was excellent, very clever, and highly entertaining.
For me, it's probably Brain Dead, the early Peter Jackson movie.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that to be as good as it was, and the creativeness and the execution was stellar.
That's a good pick. Yeah, with the lawnmower sequence as well. Love that lawnmower sequence. Great film. You could also say Meet the Feebles as well. That's an interesting one. What about you, David?
I've got to say Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that. And I'm a huge Michelle Yeoh fan. She's one of my favorites. So I went there because I wanted to see a movie with her. But yeah, it was amazing. Great experience. Awesome movie. Definitely my favorite of the year.
Yeah. We haven't even got a release date yet for Blu-ray, even confirmation of one yet, which is quite shocking. And Mike?
There was a movie I watched called The Holy Mountain, directed by a guy called Alejandro Jodorowsky, and I can't even begin to describe that movie. I can't say I enjoyed it, but it was very, very out there, very unique.
He done El Topo as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I've not seen that one. I think I'm a bit reluctant to watch it after The Holy Mountain.
Yeah, I've heard both of them are a bit out there, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other film I'd say was a bit out there for me. Mind you, I watched this at about 11 o'clock at night, which probably wasn't a thing to finish at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that was Midsommar. That was good, but like when it got to the conclusion at nearly 2 o'clock, I was like, what? But I didn't mind it. I'm very slap bang in the middle of the film. I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think it's a great film. I'm just really in the middle, but definitely will have to give it a rewatch down the line. Right. Edward Coppock says best fictional villain, British in a film or TV show. Let's have a think. Ben Kingsley in Sexy Beast. Could I say that one? I thought he was very good in that.
That's a
That's
good
a
one.
British film. That's a British film, isn't it?
Film 4, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't think of any other ones.
Like I'm trying to think of like just British actors in movies alone.
Michael Caine was a bit of an evil bugger in Mona Lisa, I thought.
Yeah.
I can only think of I can't think of any British ones, but there's two that come to mind for me. I'd say Sanchez from License to Kill. I think he's just fantastic villain, terrifying, and also I guess you could kind of call her a villain, but Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She's just such a horrible bitch.
Brilliant. What about you, David?
Well, the only one that's coming to mind is Gary Oldman from Leon the Professional. Would be my pick. And he was also fun as Zorg in The Fifth Element, but that'd be the only thing I could.
I watched him in Air Force One the other day. He was really good in that. That was a first time watch, and I really enjoyed that film.
Lost in Space. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was Dr. Smith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you think of any, Andy?
Probably have to say like Ralph Fiennes as a British actor in the Harry Potter movies, and maybe to an extent Alan Rickman in the earlier ones.
True. Yeah.
I like Ray Fiennes in Red Dragon.
Yeah,
I agree there.
Really creepy in that one.
Alan Rickman in Die Hard as well.
Die Hard,
yeah. Superb in that. Gary Oldman in True Romance as well. He's superb in that for as short a bit he's in it. Superb.
I think that's one of his best performances. To be honest, he just disappears in that movie.
Yeah.
There's so many great actors in there who just come on for a few minutes and then go. It's just like they go through so many, but great film. Dr. Impossible says, has the heat got to the Blu-ray player too, Pete? When the heat is off, Pete, you better get on those blues big time. Yeah, I thought, I'm going to spend a couple of days in, watch a couple of films during heat. Nah, it never worked out that way. I was fast asleep on the sofa. Probably try and watch them later on in the week when it gets a bit cooler, as it's still quite hot in the house. But yeah, got quite a few films to watch. I definitely want to give Hereditary a watch, but I can't remember where I put it. I'm gonna definitely try and watch that at night time in the dark. See what it's like. It can't be that scary. It can't be that scary, surely.
I had trouble watching it in daylight. It was that bad.
Oh dear, I'm evaluating my life choices now. What I've just said.
Like you didn't like it, Andy, or?
No, I loved it. It just terrified me. The movie.
It was scary.
I thought, scariest film I've seen in a long time. Hereditary.
Yeah, I
really
liked it, and I know there's there's three that are kind of have the same, just the way that they're filmed. You got Midsommar, you've got Hereditary, and you got The Witch. And Hereditary is the only one I really liked out of those three.
Yeah. Creeped me out, that film.
Yeah.
I keep hearing it, so I'm going to give it a go. I picked it up in Pound Band. Still sealed, but I can't remember where I put it. We've got Richard here saying, hi all, looking forward to it. 3, 1 and 2 are my favourite science fiction self, and my horror shelf is wrong, but my Tim Curry that won that. I'm confused.
Is that Tim Curry?
I was thinking that.
1, 2, or my
I'm looking forward to
So it's some kind of franchise, I think. Like
Richard says, I'm looking forward to It 3. 1 and 2 are my favourite science fiction, and not on my horror shelf. That's wrong, but my Tim Curry's my favourite one. Right, yes, because they're talking about
his Tim Curry one is in his horror shelf, but the other ones are in sci-fi.
Ah, got it now. But yeah, they're talking about they're doing like a Return to Derry, like a prequel series or
Right.
film or something. But I don't know when that's coming out. But I wasn't the biggest fan of It Chapter 2. What did you guys think of it?
There were things about it I liked, but
Yeah,
it wasn't as good as the first.
yeah. There
It
were
felt too
parts that
long.
I liked, but yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't live up to the first chapter.
Mike?
I've still not seen it. I saw chapter 1 and I wasn't really a big fan, and I just haven't got around to chapter 2. But if you want a prequel series, just read the book, because there's so many. Like the book
That's
like
true.
it goes back to the past, and it goes like hundreds of years into the past about Derry and different stories. So yeah, give the book a read.
Sounds good, yeah. Carlos says, if you had to recast an actor or actress for these great movies, who would you choose as Tony Montana, Scarface, Jack Torrance, The Shining, and Annie Wilkes, Misery?
That's tough.
Oh. That is a hard one.
I'd go Javier Bardem as Tony Montana.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I think that would just make that movie creepy.
Yeah.
If he did something similar to his No Country for Old Men character, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Anybody else?
For Jack Torrance, I think Mel Gibson, because I think he could be crazy.
Yep.
And he's a good actor. He's a horrible person, but he's a great actor. And I could see him just go nuts and do The Shining. I don't know about Misery though.
No.
Maybe. I don't know why Melissa McCarthy came to mind.
I was thinking that. I was actually thinking Melissa McCarthy.
Because she's done a couple of serious roles. I can't remember there's one that she's really creepy in.
Can You Ever Forgive Me? Is it?
Yeah.
I think that's the one. I could see her I could see her like taking that role and moving it into Annie Wilkes.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree with Melissa McCarthy. Give her a serious role for a change. Don't keep giving her these comedy roles.
Give her a thriller. I mean, shoot, look what Robin Williams did with 1 Hour Photo. And if she could go dark like that, I think it'd be really good.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Mike?
The Tony Montana, I'm not sure. This is probably a bit of a safe option, but the only person who comes to mind would be someone like Robert De Niro, but he's basically the same as Al Pacino. Jack Torrance, for me, this is probably going to be quite controversial, but I always thought Jack Nicholson was very badly miscast as that character, because Jack Nicholson's kind of crazy anyway. And the character's meant to be normal at the start and then turn crazy. And someone who I can kind of picture would be like Jon Voight, like sort of a young Jon Voight in that role. Who starts off normal and then slowly goes crazy. And Annie Wilkes, someone that comes to mind for Annie Wilkes could be someone like Meryl Streep, like, because she's very, very sweet, a very sweet woman, and it would just be, I think it'd be quite scary to see her, suddenly turn and, she's just evil. So yeah.
Yeah, great picks. And what about you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm really stuck on this. I just don't really have I can't really see anyone else being in those roles, to be honest. I'm just stumped.
They all are perfect in their roles.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of modern day actors for these, like obviously Melissa McCarthy for Misery. Why I'm thinking Oscar Isaac for Tony Montana? I don't know. I just had that thought for me.
I could see him doing Jack Torrance. I could see Oscar Isaac doing that.
Yeah. It's definitely a hard question. Cora says Pedro Almodovar's Dark Habits is my pick. If that's another one of those Penelope Cruz ones, I will not be searching them up on Google. Dr. Impossible says, good choices, Cora. The Victors get a nod too. Highly underrated film with Vic Morrow playing a creepy estate agent. Time for some fun. Okay. Ooh. Dr. Impossible says, yeah, Dark Habits is another intriguing recommendation, Cora. Cora says, Volva is another good Almodovar.
Yeah, Volva. Yeah.
Cool. Neo says it's basically Resident Evil 90210. It's like a teen drama, not good at all. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah,
Are we talking about the series again? So now it's 2-3 against.
Yeah, it is about that
yeah.
TV series. I've heard that is very much like a teen drama. The Viva Drew says, aside from the Snyder Cut, what's your favourite director's cut of the movie? Blade Runner?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Definitely.
I can't really think of any other ones. Can you guys?
I like the extended cut of Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The George Romero one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some really good extra scenes in it.
I also didn't mind the Rocky 4 director's cut. I definitely do prefer the original, but this was a nice new dramatization of the cut. I know you've seen it, Mike, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like you. I prefer the original, but yeah, that new one was all right. It was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any recommendations for director's cut end, Mike?
I think the Aliens director's cut is miles better than the original. Just the extra scenes really that feel very needed in the movie. The Lord of the Rings ones, yeah, great extended cuts. I watched recently the Godfather 3, the new cut of the movie, the Coda cut, I think it's called. And for me, that really improved the movie. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. And what about you, David?
Well, see, right off the top of my head, I really like the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven with Orlando Bloom. I thought that was really good. I like the original too, but I really like the director's cut of that. I also like the director's cut of Salt with Angelina Jolie. I thought that was really good. And I don't know if it's the director's cut, but the Rogue cut of Days of Future Past, the X-Men movie, I enjoyed that quite a bit with a little bit more Rogue in it.
Yeah, I agree. That was a little bit better. Neo just said yes about Resident Evil. DVD and Filmbloke says, oh God, God Monster of Indian Flats, AGFA. That's a title you're safe avoiding. Okay.
Sounds good.
Dr. Impossible says, most of Pedro's output is great, never gets covered on streams, much at all. Something to do with the foreign bit, but yeah, it's fair enough. Carl says, that's why I'm here to talk about classic foreign and porn movies, preferably all three in one movie, like Taboo. Okay, moving on. Jumped in the river, what did I see? Says Us and Get Out. Yeah, that's fair enough. Harry says, did anybody book their tickets for Bullet Train yet? That's coming out next month. That does actually look quite fun. I wouldn't mind seeing that. What about you? David, are you going to go see that?
Yeah, I'm going to go see that. I love the trailers for that. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. I'll see that in the theater.
Yeah, it looks a lot of fun. It does. Isn't it done by the John Wick guys? Somebody told me. Probably is.
It looks like it from the trailer. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Andy, are you going to go see Bullet Train when it comes out?
Yeah, it looks good from the trailer. Yeah, definitely give it a watch.
Yeah, I think it might be a nice surprise for like the end of the summer season. What about you, Mike?
Do you know, I haven't even seen a trailer for it. I've really not seen all that much about the movie, but I'll have to check the trailer out and see what I think.
Jumped in the river. What did I see? The last Halloween movie was so bad I kind of lost enthusiasm for the new one. Yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah, that was Halloween Kills was a bit of was a letdown to be fair, but hopefully this one can pick it up and give us a good conclusion and end. Right. Dr. Impossible says, okay, Pete and guests, name a solid Bogart film that isn't Casablanca. Why do you like film? All right, then. Where's my...
What's that one that's on the Sony one, the Sony label? Is it the Kane Mutiny?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie. With Bogart.
Yeah.
I can't think of another one. Did he do the Maltese Falcon? Or am I thinking a different?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't mind that one.
The African Queen's pretty good as well. Yeah.
I probably have seen quite a few, but I can't remember the titles. What about you, David?
African Queen was the first one that came to mind because I saw that movie with my grandmother. So there's kind of a sentimental thing behind that. But yeah, Maltese Falcon, the Barefoot Contessa. There's another one that I like.
I've seen that before. That's a very good film.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Probably have to go with the Maltese Falcon.
David even film below sums it up just right. Halloween. Oh shit, we need more cash. Absolutely. Dr. Impossible says, yeah, I know, time to confound our hosts with the educational introsites of the devils and Miss Jones. There, I searched this up. Cool, I'm going to get... I dare to see what that's going to be like, but my computer's froze. That's probably for a reason.
It's a sign.
Yeah, it's a sign. Well, we'll have to skip that in. Coral says, not yet. It's not past 11 o'clock yet. Well, my computer will not let me have a look at that one, so that's fair enough. Dr. Impossible, keep your wig on, Coral. I always thought The Devil and Miss Jones was a cartoon made by DC or Marvel. Obviously not.
No.
Oh my days. Click back to Google. It just loaded up, but I went on Google Images. I wish I never did that. Cora says, I could be wrong too, of course. Carla says, guys, how do you decide if you're going to watch a movie at your local cinema? Myself, it's a movie that I just can't wait to see, and it's worthy of a big screen viewing experience, then I'll watch one. Yeah, if it's a big movie, if it's something like the new Marvel movie or a big film that everybody's talking about, I definitely will give it a go. But if it's a lesser film, I'll just wait until it goes streaming or when it comes out on Blu-ray. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I mean, I try and see as much as I can, but when it's like a big movie, I try and see it first weekend.
Yeah. It's more about dodging spoilers more than anything. I don't want to leave it to when a film comes out in physical and have everything spoiled by the internet. What about you, David?
Yeah, I ignore spoilers completely. If I see something that's going to talk about a movie I haven't seen yet, I just avoid it altogether. But yeah, I try to get to the theater as much as I can. But like I said, it's a 2-hour round trip to go there for me, and I've got to make sure whether I can take my granddaughter or whether my wife wants to come or something like that, because it's not something that I can do alone because of the length of time, and I'm taking the car. So yeah, I try to catch maybe 8 to 10 a year.
That sounds good. And what about you, Mike?
Yeah, it all just depends on how interested I am in the movie. But yeah, I just try to see as much as I can.
Yeah, I only ever see, I think I'll probably see about 2 or 3 films at the cinema, which makes a change. Dr. Impossible says, you're always wrong, Coro. You're Dutch. The Cornish always right. Haha. Not. Carla says, usually 5 to 8 movies a year at the cinema for me max. Yeah, probably about the same for me this year. Carl says, corn melted butter. Okay. I didn't know we were food stream now.
Are we talking food? Food porn.
Richard says, I personally don't like it when you haven't seen a movie, but the Blu-ray plays half the film before you can press play.
Yeah, I hate that.
Or they show like loads of clips on like the menu screen or something.
Yeah.
I hate that. Yeah.
Oh, I do. Yeah. One of the new I know, like with new movies now, it's mostly just like a JPEG will like play, and that's probably for the better because a lot of I notice with older films on Blu-ray, they just reveal everything that happens, especially near in the final. It is annoying. DVD and Film Bloke says, I'm the closest thing to that, Andy, since I don't rate T2 10 out of 10.
It's fair enough.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough, mate. Dr. Impossible says, you're the devil incarnate, Connor. Shit.
All right.
Coral says, I am the destroyer of planets, the destructor of all life. I am death. Come behold my pale horse and bow to me, puny humans. Wow, this has certainly gone down a different road.
Yeah.
Edward says, what's your thoughts on the Fantastic Four movie from 2015? I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's awful, so I'm steering clear. You're not a fan, David?
No, not really. It's there were things that I liked, but I didn't like that they changed the origin story. I didn't like the person who played Doctor Doom. I was not happy with that. Yeah. I did like the CGI effects for Thing, and but yeah, Miles Teller as Reed Richards. There's no way he's that smart. There's no way. So I'm anxious if it happens. I'm anxious for John Krasinski to reboot the Fantastic Four. I'm hearing either way. So some said that he backed out. Some says that he's going to do it with Emily Blunt as the Invisible Woman. So I'm totally down for that if it happens.
Yeah, I think he would be perfect.
Yeah.
You seen it, Andy? Fantastic Four 2015?
I have not. I heard it was awful, and I just stayed clear. Yeah, I don't mind the Chris Evans ones. I think they're okay. They're
I quite enjoy them.
Yeah.
But this one I just avoided because I didn't hear anything but good, but bad things about it. So yeah, I just stayed clear.
Yeah, sounds for the best. And Mike, have you seen it?
No, I'm the same. I remember it coming out and just how much of a disaster it was. So I just kind of avoided it.
Yeah, that sounds for the best as well. Scott says, which actors' films do you own the most films of?
Probably Sam Jackson because he's been in everything.
That's a good safe answer, Andy.
Yeah.
It's probably him by default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in so many films.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Not to mention pretty much all the MCU. So you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got almost 20 films there. So, gosh, I recently counted my Sylvester Stallone movies, and I have 40 Sylvester Stallone movies. But I think Tom Hanks and probably Denzel Washington would be my other two that I have a lot of movies of, besides Sam Jackson.
Sounds good. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, the people that come to mind are probably people like Arnie, Sylvester Stallone, maybe Jackie Chan as well. I've recently been collecting quite a lot of his movies, so yeah, people like that.
Oh, that sounds good. For me, it'd probably be the Clint Eastwood. I know I've got pretty much all the Tom Cruise films and nearly all of the good Steven Seagal films. We're not going to go like late 2000s with his films. So, yeah.
I'm going to have to change my answer to Clint Eastwood because I've got that box set, haven't I? Which
yeah, you have that as well, yeah.
I'll change my answer to him.
We've got David Beach here saying, good evening, guys. Nice to see you tonight. Nice to see you, David. Thanks for joining. Right. We've got Dr. Impossible says, can we put some Richard Wagner classical music to that fine quote choro? Just make it sound more cinematic. Okay. Coro agrees. Dr. Impossible says, the name is the only thing I know about the fan fall stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bumper says, did any of you play the cliffhanger game on SNES? No.
No.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I didn't even know there was a cliffhanger game on SNES. I played
Yeah.
quite a few of the Rocky games. There's been a few of them throughout the years for like all the SNES, some of the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and even one last year, which wasn't very good. But not for cliffhanger. Brett says, my knowledge on games is very impressive. I don't know whether it is, Brett, but thank you very much. I try to hold it in because when I talk about games, I could talk for the whole stream about them. Dr. Impossible says, okay, for your 4 wonderful film nerds, what classical music do you like in films? Take your pick from loads. Mine is Death in Venice with Gustav Mahler's Adagio from the Fifth Symphony. Symphony. Brilliant. I'm not really much into classical music. I like it if it's in the film, but I don't really know like what the piece of music's called. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play it very, very safe and probably say Beethoven in A Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah.
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 Is it
David?
Fifth Symphony, Ninth Movement?
Fifth Symphony. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even know what these symphonies are, but I've heard of them. But it's just like the names of them. David?
Yeah, I was gonna play it safe like Andy and say Amadeus because it was about Mozart and all of his stuff. But one that comes to mind, and I don't know. I know it's classical style, but I don't know if it's actual classical music. Is the score for Chariots of Fire?
Oh, Vangelis, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that. That really made that movie awesome. So that would be my pick. But yeah,
That's a very good pick, yeah. Chariots of Fire is great and soundtrack's superb. Mike?
Yeah, there's a piece called Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber, and that's used at the end of 2 movies, The Elephant Man and Platoon. It's a very it's a very heartbreaking. Like when you hear, you'll recognize it when you hear it. It's a very very heartbreaking piece of music.
Yeah. Bradley Stark says, got a dilemma. I've seen Halloween 4Ks from Screen Factory for about 30 quid each. Do you think there will be 4Ks of the other 3 or even a box set of all 8 from Screen Factory at some point? I think the other 3 are definitely coming out later this year because I think they've confirmed them.
Yeah.
There probably will be a box set, probably next year or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, once they release everything individually, then they'll do a box set of the whole shebang.
Yeah, I can imagine it'll be quite expensive for the whole box set, but it'll be a really nice one.
Yeah, they're gonna wait for Halloween Ends to come out on physical, and then they're gonna do like a box set with the whole thing, I think.
Yeah. You got some of the Shout Factories, haven't you? Or Screen Factories, Andy, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got the first 3 on 4K. Only because they're my favorite Halloween movies from the franchise. I have all the rest on DVD, and I have the 2 new ones on Blu-ray. But yeah, those first 3 movies I wanted to get on 4K because the DVDs I have don't really hold up in terms of quality. But I do not regret buying them. They're gorgeous, those sets.
Yeah, I agree. You got any of them, David?
I've got the first one. I've got the Scream Factory of the first one. It went on sale for me, so I was totally down for that. But I have all of them on DVD, and I have everything from H2O on, including the Rom Zombie ones, on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that sounds good. You got any of them, Mike?
No, I've been interested. Well, I'm interested in the first one and the third one because they're really the only 2 that I like. But They're just a bit too expensive for me at the moment, but we'll see.
Yeah. Edward says, what were your thoughts on the Marvel movies before it was bought by Disney? So, like, from the Fox and...
Oh, before Disney took them over, yeah.
Yeah. They were fine, I suppose. Very, like, safe, typical early 2000 sort of superhero films. Quite cheesy and fun. But the new MCU stuff's great. I do like it, but it is kind of coming to the point now where it's the shine's starting to wear off with the MCU, shall I say?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I just don't know where they're going with this new phase. I don't know what they're doing, where they're heading to.
Yeah, I agree. What's the point?
Yeah,
of this phase? It doesn't. I don't know where the end goal is. I mean,
Yeah.
you understand with the first 3 or 4 phases, you're like, okay, Thanos, it's the Infinity Stones. You're doing the whole Infinity Gauntlet series, so I was totally down for that. But yeah, this one's going all over the place, and I just don't know.
it's up and down because I think in this new phase in my opinion, we've only really had 2 standout movies, Shang-Chi and No Way Home. I think they've been brilliant. The rest have been very forgettable and just middle of the road. And that's including the Thor as well. It's a shame because I just don't know where it's going. Every time I sit down to watch a movie, I'm like, right, okay, that movie was fine, but what's the big picture here? Because that's what those previous movies did. It all added up to a bigger picture with the Infinity Saga and Thanos, and I just don't know what's going on with these new ones. I don't know where we're meant to be. Just a bit lost with it. Just feel a bit underwhelmed by it.
Yeah, they certainly don't seem to have like an end goal with it. They seem to just be trying, seeing what works at the moment. It definitely does feel like shall I say, a repeat of Phase 1 in a way.
Yes, because they're introducing new characters now, and it's like they have to have their origin movie, as it were.
Yeah. But even with Phase 1, you got they're going to bring the Avengers in. Because you get the end credit scene and the mid credit scene where they're an Incredible Hulk and an Iron Man 1. You knew where it was coming. It was coming to a head with the Avengers coming together for something, and so I enjoyed that. But yeah, these other movies that none of them really tie in together at all.
No.
I think they're going back to what DC did in the beginning when they were messing up originally.
Yeah. Nia says, why would you gender swap Doctor Doom? This is becoming ridiculous. Shall we gender swap Wonder Woman X? Leave them as they were intended to be. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I Wonder Woman as a man in a skirt. Okay. But I don't mind gender swapping. I don't know if I gender swap Wonder Woman or for that matter, I mean, there's a Supergirl, of course, but I don't know if I gender swap Superman as that character as a woman. But I've already said that I like the idea of swapping Doctor Doom to a woman. I don't know if Neo was answering that, but and I know Iron Man is actually going to gender swap at some point and become. I want it to be Iron Maiden, but it's not going to be Iron Maiden.
Carlos says, an edited edition of Spider-Man No Way Home. Marvel are squeezing more money out of the fans. Totally agree with Mike. Yeah.
Yep.
Humble Columbus is here saying Tom Holland is allowed to appear in one cameo appearance as things stand under the Sony Marvel contract. Oh. He continues to say, there is a feeling Sony will now make their own Spider-Man films going forward. What do you guys think of that, if that is the case? They're doing brilliantly with Venom and Morbius, shall we say? So, yeah. I don't know. It depends on who they get to direct. I mean, the first 3 Spider-Man films are great. Amazing Spider-Man, I like Amazing Spider-Man 2, but yeah, Sony and their own doing it their own way. It is a struggle. Venom 1 and 2, Morbius, it doesn't seem to be the greatest things, and the new stuff they've got lined up. Is it Madam Web and is it Craven the Hunter? I'm not in the biggest hype for that, shall I say? But I don't know. What do you think, Andy?
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, the Amazing Spider-Man movies weren't the best. You know, I think the last good Spider-Man movie we had before Spider-Man joined the MCU was Spider-Man 2. I still have, you know, fond memories, and I do quite like the third one as much as people don't like that movie. But I think Sony's just in a fortunate position of owning the rights. They're not, you know, I don't think they make competent comic book movies. I just don't think they make competent movies, let alone comic book movies. But yeah, it's just a case of they own the rights, and unfortunately, they're going to want to probably do their own thing now away from the MCU, and that isn't going to benefit the character, I don't think, or the quality of the movies. Because, like you said, Pete, the Venom movies aren't great, in my opinion. Sorry, I don't think that they're good movies at all. I haven't seen Morbius yet, but yeah, it seemed to work better when they had this partnership with Disney.
Yeah.
In terms of benefiting Spider-Man. You know, when he was introduced in Civil War, I just had a blast with that. I thought it was fantastic, and what they were doing with it was amazing, in my opinion. But yeah, it doesn't fill me with much confidence. This Sony doing their own thing.
See, like with Spider-Man, it's the deal maker. That is the main
that's
hero
their main
for the Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Isn't it? It's like if another company bought Batman away from Warner Brothers. It's that big superhero. See, like with Sony, pardon?
I was going to say, aside from Wolverine, I think Spider-Man is the face of Marvel.
Yeah.
He's their main IP.
Yeah. Pretty much, he is like everybody's like one of their favorite superheroes, or at least top 3. And like Sony's got a kingmaker there with the Spider-Man games on PlayStation consoles, because they can only release them on PlayStation consoles. But they seem to be doing all right with the game side. It's just the film side. What about you, David?
Yeah, Andy hit the nail on the head. I'm not going to say anything except I totally agree with Andy's point. You know, Sony did the original ones. I kind of like the Amazing Spider-Man, and I heard that they were going to bring Andrew Garfield back for something to do with Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, I could take it or leave it with Sony doing more Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. I think they've got another trilogy coming up, haven't they?
I think so.
I think that's, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they go down it. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know about Spider-Man. I mean, I like the character, but I kind of feel like he's not as multi-layered as, say, someone like Batman. I feel like if they make more Spider-Man movies, I feel like they're all going to be very similar, just with different villains. Because I know with the Amazing Spider-Man, they did try and do something different. You know, where they had like that whole subplot about his parents and what like their origins was. But I'm not really too sure what they can do with the character going forward. I think they have to do something a bit different, because I feel like a lot of the Spider-Man movies just feel very similar to me. They're all set in New York. They all have a very similar look. Whereas I think other superheroes like Batman, they can kind of do things differently with him in terms of style. But I feel like it's a bit more difficult with Spider-Man. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, because I suppose with the Spider-Man films in like just over a decade, we've had like 3 reboots of it. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. So yeah, it does feel like treading new ground. Especially I remember when Amazing Spider-Man came out. Whilst I do like the film, it definitely felt like we're treading old ground again.
Mm.
I remember when that came out, and I remember thinking it's too soon.
Yeah.
I'd be interested if they did a Miles Morales Spider-Man, though.
I agree there. I'd love to see a film with Miles Morales in. I know Spider-Verse was one, but I'd love to see a live-action one. We've got Dr. Impossible here saying, wasn't Teen Agent directed by Bigfoot and the Hendersons director William Deere?
I can't remember.
Haven't got a clue. Rogue says, have you heard that H&B has started its major store refit program to push the new brand into all their stores? They're closing their Cardiff store in early August till early September for the refit. Yeah, because they're coming the H&B store, is it? Or whatever they're called?
Is it the HMV shop?
H&B shop, yeah.
Yeah, because they did
Focus
that.
more.
They did that here in Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think they closed it for like a month or so they could move it somewhere else. I think it seems to be happening over the country at different times. Yeah,
but it's all to do with rent in the buildings when the contract runs out. It's like if your contract runs out, someone else moves in because either the interest rates go up at the end of a year or whenever it is, so they have to look for somewhere else. Because in where we are, the HMV was moving all the time. It just never really sort of stayed in one place for too long. So I always thought it was due to like maybe it was the company had to do it financially or whatever, but I think a lot of it is like, contracts run out, leases run out, you have to move to a different location. But
yeah,
I'm hopefully touch wood it stays where it is for now, because it's pretty good the one we've got. So
yeah.
My local one's a fairly decent sized one. It's been there for like 20, 30 years, but apparently it's been the same landlord, and the landlord, thankfully, touch wood, gives them a cheap rate, so hopefully they'll be there for a while yet. But I've noticed they're starting to move everything about, focusing less on the films and more on the memorabilias.
yeah.
We've got Luke here, and he's talking movies forever. Hey guys, how's it going in this weather? Hot weather, heat wave today. Just popped by to say hello, lads. Hey Luke, thanks for joining, mate. Certainly been a hot one, but I hope you've been enjoying the heat. Rogue says everything everywhere all at once is getting a German release, so if they don't get that act together, I know where to look. Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
I hope it's not going to be another case with Licorice Pizza. Just 6 months.
Yeah, because it came out at the same time as Doctor Strange. That was like May time, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's no word of it. No word of the UK release yet.
I should be getting a release very soon, and I would hope September, October time at least.
It'll be a 4K day one purchase for me. That.
Oh, I'm definitely intrigued to giving it a watch. Everything I'm hearing about it does sound like film of the year quality.
Yeah, really enjoyable, really entertaining.
Marvel fan says, I'm surprised no one has mentioned Pink Flamingos, which is out on Monday, but I'm not getting it. I've heard weird stuff about it, and at least I haven't seen the movie yet. Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, I'm not picking that movie up.
No, you've got it on DVD, and that's enough.
Yeah, I'll never watch it again.
Dr. Impossible says, have any of you ever ventured into Japanese horror like Nonbahiku Obasaki's house films?
I've seen the movie House. Yeah, the Japanese.
I haven't heard that one before. Haven't seen that yet.
I would say Japanese are probably the best at horror. For me, they're probably the creepiest. They've done some very creepy movies.
I'm a fan of Korean horror too. I really like that stuff.
Yeah.
They kind of go into fairy tales, which is really interesting because they have like Hansel and Gretel and things like that are really creepy horror movies.
Yeah, I do agree. I do like the original Grudge films. They're Japanese, aren't they? Before they did the American version.
Yeah,
They're pretty
Ju-on
good.
is the title of those. But yeah, those are really good.
Yeah.
Bradley says best British fictional villain is Vinnie Jones in Midnight Meat Train. Wow.
That's a good one.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
We've got Movies with Ryan here saying, have you ever checked out Formula 51 with Sam Jackson? No, never heard of it.
It's
You guys seen it?
I think over here it's called the 51st State.
Yeah. Did we talk about this last time, didn't we?
Robert Carl Arthur.
Yeah.
I think I have seen it years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit in that movie that's so funny when those gangsters take like the laxatives.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he just like hands them the toilet paper.
Yeah. My granddad's in that movie as well, like in the background in one scene.
I think I remember you said that, didn't you, the other week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Impossible says, I might be generous and add a Japanese horror film called Pulse from 2001. Great film.
That is very creepy, that movie.
I think I've heard of that one. Is that on Arrow, is it?
Yeah, I think Arrow released it, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it on there before.
Yeah.
DVD from Homebloke says, it's a lot cooler today, but it's still warm but cool. Yeah, it is cool. Dr. Impossible says, Tom Noonan scared the shit out of me as a killer in Manhunter. Probably better than Fines, but horses for courses.
He scares the shit out of me in Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
To be honest, it's fucking terrifying in that film.
Yeah.
Is he in Last Action Hero? Which character?
Yeah, he plays Jack the Ripper, doesn't he?
The guy with the axe and the yellow.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's terrifying in that.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Was it the Ripper? I don't think it's Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, he's the Ripper.
Just the Ripper.
With the raincoat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember now. I watched it for the first time last year and I was like, which character is that? But then when you said the Ripper character, yeah. Carla says, recasting James Caan for Tony Montana, Martin Sheen for Jack Torrance, and Margot Kidder for Annie Wilkes.
That's old school. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
James Caan. He just passed away recently.
Yeah. Cora says, Jesus Christ, Deep Impact in 4K looks absolutely stunning. Holy hell. Oh.
Yeah, I might be getting up my wallet for that one.
Ooh. Carlos says, can't believe Andy got stumped. That's a first.
I wouldn't want to see anyone else in those parts. You know what I mean? It's like they're iconic, you know.
Yeah.
No, that is true. That's true.
It's where you don't want to jinx it and have them reboot it on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine it. Imagine if they did a reboot for Scarface now. Oh, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
Right.
I might be down for Melissa McCarthy though, as Annie Wilkes. If they did reboot that, I'd be like, okay, that's either going to be a complete train wreck or it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'd be kind of rooting for the train wreck, but oh, see. Oh, Ryan. Yeah, I know him.
Movies of Ryan says kind of Kingdom of Heaven is much better than theatrical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Same.
I'll have to check that one out. I've only seen like the theatrical version of it, so I'll have to check out the director's cut. Cool. DVD from Filmbloke says Rocky 4 ain't Rocky 4 if it doesn't have the Paulie robot. Yeah, I kind of missed him in that, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is because they removed the robot, most of Paulie's scenes are like not in the movie anymore. So he's like barely in the movie, and you got to have Paulie in Rocky movies.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I do miss the Paulie robot. I mean, it's daft, but it's 80s. It suits it. It's a cheesy, fun, pick-me 80s film. But I do like the more serious tone of that director's cut. But I suppose it's a compliment to it. But the original's still the best.
Yeah.
But the director's cut still keeps the music in it, so that's the main thing. Dr. Impossible says, yeah, Williams was good in Insomnia with Al Pacino. Enjoyed that remake by Hollywood. Ooh.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Right, comments have gone weird. Right. We've got Edward Coppick here saying, what's your thoughts on Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever is going to work without Chadwick Boseman and Daniel Kuela?
I have no idea how this movie's going to work or what they're going to do.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I really hope they don't recast Chadwick Boseman and maybe go with another person to take on. I can't remember the guy's name, but the really big guy in the first Black Panther. I would like to see him. And I'm sorry I'm doing a gender swap, but I could see the sister or Lupita Nyong'o as the new Black Panther.
Yeah, I think that's where they were going down, like a gender swap. I'm pretty certain they were saying like either the sister or Lupita Nyong'o like replacing, but it's very interesting what they're going to do with it because not a lot's been said. We haven't had a really reveal trailer or any real info about it. It's coming out later this year. Is it September, October time? Or was it November? I honestly don't know.
November, yeah.
November.
We haven't, like you said, I don't think we've had a trailer yet for it.
No, not much info at all.
I've heard that they were recasting everybody, but then I didn't hear anything about that after that. And I hope they don't. I hope they bring everybody back and then just have someone else be Black Panther.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I don't really know too much about it, to be honest. I can't really comment.
It's definitely going to be a very interesting one for Marvel, especially after Thor and Doctor Strange not living up to the hype. Hopefully Black Panther 2 can kind of regain that a bit, but it is kind of worrying, shall I say, because we haven't heard so much about it.
Yeah.
Gary's here saying, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Gary. Thanks for joining me.
Gary.
Marvel fan says, they haven't confirmed if Winston Duke would be back in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, that's the big guy.
I think they have confirmed that Martin Freeman is back as like the secret agent.
Martin Freeman is back, yeah.
I did like his character. Rogue says, we all know that the only true Fantastic Four is the one from the 90s. Yeah. That's an interesting film, shall we say? Right. Carlos says, if there's an actor or actress, past or present, whose career would make for a high-budget film, who would you choose? Mine would be the King of Cool, Steve McQueen. That's a good pick. Whew. So, who would you like to see get a movie biopic? Which famous actor or actress?
That's tough.
I'd like to see Paul Newman maybe get one, and then for actress maybe Audrey Hepburn.
Yes. Yeah. That's a very good pick. Andy?
Oh yeah, it's tough. Probably for actor, probably Brando. I don't know if we're getting if there's anything in the works. That there's like is there a Godfather movie coming out with Miles Teller?
Yeah, it's like a prequel or something. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like in terms of like biopic, Brando. But
yeah,
I know.
No, it's the filming of. That's what it was. It was they're doing some kind of movie about how they filmed The Godfather. It was called The Offer, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's like a TV series.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would love to see a biopic about Brando. How he just sort of went from like absolute top of his game, and then it was kind of like, well, directors were just sort of like getting the whatever they could out of him towards the end.
Mm.
I know he sort of became very difficult, very sort of demanding, wanting more money and all the time. But yeah, I'd love to see a biopic about him.
That's a good pick. Have you got one for actress?
Probably just because she's done so many different movies. Meryl Streep.
Yes, that's a very good pick. Meryl Streep would be a good one. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think for me, I'd love to see like an Arnold Schwarzenegger biopic. Like I think like his early life is really interesting. The way he went from nothing, and he literally lived the American dream and conquered the world. And yeah, just I'd love to see like a biopic about him, especially sort of like his early career. Actress, yeah, probably just someone like Meryl Streep.
Yeah. For me, I'd like to see a Stallone biopic and how he got the Rocky film produced. I think that would be a very interesting story, because that really, I've heard that's supposed to be quite a job for him to get that off the ground, weren't it?
Yeah.
Oh, as for actresses, that's a really, really hard choice. Honestly, I've got a clue, to be fair. I'm probably going to have to pass on that one. Or probably just say Meryl Streep as well. It's hard just to pick one out the blue. Edward says, "Are you guys looking forward to seeing Prey on Disney Plus at the start of August?" David?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a huge Predator fan, so I'll watch it.
That's good. Andy?
I probably won't unless I hear it's absolutely fantastic, and then I might check it out. But for me, the only good thing with the Predator name on is that first movie. I think everything else has just been okay at best. But that first movie is immaculate. It's great, and I don't think anything will ever top that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't mind is it Predators 2009, 2010? I thought that was...
Like, don't get me wrong, there's merits to that movie and there's merits to Predator 2, but there's also flaws to those movies, whereas I think Predator has pretty much all the flaws ironed out. It's it's as good as a movie as it's ever going to be, and it's great. But
it's definitely a film that hard to recapture that magic.
Yeah, it's lightning in a bottle.
Film.
Yeah, it's a movie with a formula, and it knows it's got a formula, but it works so well.
Yeah. Everything works well in there. The cast of characters, a certain story, it just all works together.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? Are you going to watch Prey when it comes out?
Yeah, I'll watch it. But I think, like Andy says, nothing can top the impact of that first movie, no matter how good this Prey movie will be. But yeah, I'm probably more cautiously optimistic about Prey. I'm hoping it's good, but I feel like it could either be great or it could be terrible. We'll have to see.
Yeah. It comes straight to Disney Plus is like a bit of a worry. It could not be that good, but at least it's on Disney Plus, so you ain't got to go pay and see it at the cinema. I've seen the trailer. It's an interesting direction where they're taking it, and it could be all right. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm more optimistic about this one than I was about The Predator that came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I feel like it could be kind of like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that we got recently, because that was straight to Netflix, and I feel like because this Prey movie is going straight to Disney, I don't know, I'm getting a similar kind of vibe, but I really hope it's better than that movie.
Yeah, I hope it is. Hopefully they've got a bit more. I thought it was going to be a TV show at first, but then obviously no, it's a film. But yeah, hopefully it's good. DVD and Film Bloke says the Rocky game on PS2 featured the Clubber Fuck. Only those who'd watch Angry Video Game Nerd would get that.
Okay.
I think I had that game, but it was on Xbox.
Yeah, I think it came out on Xbox and GameCube as well. It was early 2000s.
Yeah.
I can remember that one, yeah. Rogue says, my favourite use of classic music is Blue Danobu in 2001, Space Odyssey, it works well with the space sequences. Yeah. DVD and Film Black says it was the 9th sympathy, 4th movement in the film adaptation of A Clockwork Orange. In the book, it was 5th. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Brett says, I love classical music. Classical and opera are my favourites. I listen to them every day. Yeah, it's good. Cool. Good pick of music. I do know them, but I don't know like the titles. Pretty terrible like that. Rogue says 2001: Space Odyssey is the only reason why the Blue Balloon Waltz by Levi Strauss is acousted with space. Oh. Right, I'm just going to have to put something out in timeout. Yep. Right. Brett says, I have 300-ish CDs and like 90% of them are classical and opera and the rest is meditation. Malcolm Volger, Slim Whitman, Andy Williams, Demis Russo, Matt Monroe, Nat King Cole. I actually do know quite a few of them, including Slim Whitman, Brett, so I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah, I know Slim Whitman from Mars Attacks, because that's the music they used to kill all the Martians.
Yeah. Oh. We've got Paul Bowler here saying, what did you think of that new Halloween Kills trailer? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It looks interesting enough. But it doesn't reveal a lot, but here's hoping it's better than Halloween Kills. Oh, he's put Halloween Kills as Halloween Ends.
Yeah. Didn't know there's a new trailer for Halloween Kills.
Is it a director's cut of a better movie?
Got rid of all the evil guys tonight.
Oh, well, it'll be a very short film. Edward says, what's your worst Marvel movie of all time? So, MCU or Marvel in general?
I might have to say for me, I don't think it's the worst in the franchise, but maybe. Oh no, another one's just come to mind. Actually, I'm going to say Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Last Stand, but Dark Phoenix, whoa, that was bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm very unsure about watching that one. Even worse than the New Mutants.
Actually, no, maybe New Mutants.
Oh dear.
Yeah, New Mutants was rough. Yeah.
Still need to see that one. What about you, David?
I would say Last Stand would probably be my least favorite for sure. And then Fantastic Four 2, The Rise of Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Because Silver Surfer is my favorite Marvel character, and they totally ruined him in that movie.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, it wasn't great in that film. What about you, Mike?
For me, it would have to be Last Stand as well. I remember just being so utterly disappointed in that movie, especially because of the way X-Men 2 ends. I was like so excited for it, and it just didn't live up to it whatsoever.
I definitely do agree with you there. Last Stand was definitely disappointing. I'm also going to throw in Venom 2. I just couldn't get him on with Let There Be Carnage. Oh, that was a struggle. That was a real struggle. For 90 minutes, it felt like 3 hours.
Yeah. I know none of us have mentioned Wolverine Origins, but that's like the Batman and Robin of movies. It's awful, but it's so entertaining at the same time.
Oh,
I do kind of like it somewhat. Yeah. I don't know why. I do enjoy it a little bit.
I watched it one summer after the Wolverine. I knew it was going to be bad, but I watched X-Men Oranges Wolverine, Origins Wolverine. But anyway, I watched it and I was like, this isn't that bad. Yes, it's terrible, like what they've done with Deadpool and all that, but it was entertaining. It was such an entertaining film.
Yeah.
I really like Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth.
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
I like the way he did Sabretooth, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the other guy in the original X-Men? I think his name was Taylor Maine or something like that.
Yeah.
The guy that
Oh,
did the original X-Men movies. I mean, that was kind of the cheesy comic book version of Sabretooth is what you got from
Yeah.
that. But yeah, he was not very good at all.
Mm.
But yeah, Liev Schreiber, he really did a good job playing that role.
Yeah.
I'd
He gave him a personality.
I'd like to see him come back as Sabretooth in like the MCU if they could. But yeah, let's just not forget that Will.i.am's in that film as well for some reason. That was a strange
and he teleports. That's awesome.
Rogue says, I doubt there will ever be a Halloween box set anytime soon in the UK, as the rights of the first films are with different studios, such as Halloween is Lionsgate and Halloween 2 is Studio Canal. Yeah, they're all mixed all over the place, aren't they?
It's a mess over here, the Halloween movies. Just can't get any sort of box set for them.
It is a shame, it is, very much so. Dr. Impossible says, Excalibur, Hedda, Wagner. Wagner wrote a piece of music called Strifield's Funeral March in John Borman's film. It's actually taken from Get Ready, Pete. Got a damn rug. Wagner's Ring Cycle. Fair enough. Paul says, I'd like to see a Sony make a Spider 2099 movie. That would be cool.
Okay.
That'd be cool. Right. Jamie's here. He said, hey, Bird, Matthew's in hospital at the moment. He's okay, but he sends his apologies for not being able to join tonight. Just video call him. He's still in there waiting to be seen. That's perfectly fine. No worries at all. We hope he has a speedy recovery, and I'll message him as soon as the stream finishes. No worries there. Hope you get well soon, Matthew.
Yeah.
DVD and Film Bloke says, I still think the best piece of classical music in any film is I Want to Marry a Lighthouse Keeper from A Clockwork Orange. It's a song that plays on the radio when Alex returns home from prison.
Yeah.
The title of it sold me already. Right, no. Right. Rose says, I like the use of the synthesized version of the funeral of Queen Mary in A Clockwork Orange. It's in the title music.
Okay.
It's one film I need to watch. I do have it, so I'll have to give it a go. DVD and Film Bloke says, the opening to that film is great as well. Paul says, how about the rumours of a Secret Wars movie? Do you think this is what Phase 4 of the MCU is building towards?
I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, if it is, I don't see any hint to that. But I'd be interested if that was where it was leading to. I'd be interested. But yeah, I haven't seen anything that would tell me that that's happening.
No, there's no clear goal, shall we say, what they're doing with Marvel. I know they're building up the multiverse as such, but I really honestly don't know what they're to expect. I know there is talks of a Secret Wars TV show, not a movie, so I don't know. But I do miss the days of like the early days of the MCU, because I think now it's got so big. After Endgame, everybody wants a similar sort of style with it. Once you've gone so big, it's hard to go smaller action again, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who's your top 5 actors and actresses? Mine are Nick Nolte, Ray Liotta, Al Pacino, Liam Neeson, and Craig Falbras. He also says Jodie Foster, Laura Birch, Jane Levy, Olga Kurylenko, and Mila Djokovic. Very nice selection of actors and actresses there, Brett. What about you, Mike? Who are some of your favourite actors and actresses?
Off the top of my head, Michael Keaton, Harrison Ford, Clint Eastwood, probably Stallone, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Actresses. I really like the actress who's in the female Scorpion Prisoner movies. I think her name's Meiko Kaji. She's a Japanese actress. She's pretty cool. Jennifer Connelly. Probably Meryl Streep. I can't think of any others.
That's a good selection. It's hard to pick 5 at the top of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, David?
Yeah, it's hard to pick 5 off the top of your head, but so for actors, I'd probably go Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, Anthony Hopkins. Maybe Clint Eastwood.
Hmm.
And I have to really, De Niro, I think, would be my number 5. And then for women, it would be, I'm sorry, I'm going to put Stanley Tucci in there. I love him. So Stanley Tucci goes in, Clint Eastwood's out. And then for women, it's Cate Blanchett, absolutely. I got to go Audrey Hepburn and Meryl Streep. Those are kind of safe bets. And then I really like Lucy Liu and Michelle Yeoh.
Ah, very good. Great picks there. What about you, Andy?
Yes, I'll probably actors probably be Brando, Michael Keaton, Kurt Russell. Yeah, it's tough. Schwarzenegger as well. I know he's not the best actor, but I just like his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spencer Tracy as well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Actresses, Jodie Comer, obviously. Charlize Theron. I thought she was amazing in Monster. Just disappeared in that movie. What else have I got a soft spot for? Like Hilary Swank, Boys Don't Cry. This is amazing movie. Yeah, Katharine Hepburn as well. Her and
Spencer Tracy.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah, that's a great combination.
What a movie! What a movie!
Yeah.
Yes, it's getting tough. Yeah, I'd have to go with what David says. Well, Cate Blanchett, Blue Jasmine. You know what I mean? That.
Yeah.
She's probably the best part about most films, even if the movie sucks.
Yep. Yeah, I think she's probably the best modern actress. I should think in like most films.
I don't know if that's 5, but
it's hard to pick 5 off the top of your head.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Definitely. Let me go. Clint Eastwood, Stallone, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Let's just put Steven Seagal in for a laugh.
Nice.
For females, Cate Blanchett, obviously, Jennifer Connelly, Winona Ryder. I'm going to say Helen Mirren. Some of her earlier stuff was really good. And, Margot Robbie. Carlos says, all these Marvel movies being made with some of the lesser superhero characters made onto the screen, they seem to pass by the Hulk in getting a batch of movies who is a popular character. That's down to rights issues, isn't it?
Yes, it's a rights issue. Because there was going to be a Ruffalo standalone Hulk movie, and possibly like a series of those. But yeah, there was a rights issue to where they couldn't do it.
He can't stand it. He can't stand his own standalone movie, but he can join other people's, like in Thor and obviously She-Hulk when that comes out.
Right.
Right. Gary says, as long as H&B survives, I'll be happy. I agree. Neo says there's a lot of ways to change up Spider-Man. They keep making him the same character at the same age. An older Spider-Man, a more adult theme would work. There's some amazing stories in the comics. That's fair enough. Scotty's Movie says, what's your best charity shop find? I've got 2-disc Arrow Blu-ray of Tenebrae sealed for 25p at the weekend. Amazes me what people give away, especially sealed stuff. Oh, wow, that's a bargain. That must be the limited edition one, Anne, because the one I've got is just one disc.
That's amazing, Scotty.
That is a bargain.
Yeah.
Well done there, mate. Incredible deal. Have you found any charity shop deals or thrift store deals, David?
No, not really. Pawn shop, though, I did land the Steelbook of Star Trek Into Darkness for $3. So I was pretty jazzed about that.
Yeah, that's a good bargain. Yeah. Mike, have you picked up anything from charity shop recently?
Not really, no. It's very rare that I find Blu-rays in charity shops. It always just tends to be DVDs.
Yep.
Yeah, I've not really found anything like any sort of like amazing releases.
Yeah. Andy?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to say I don't really go in them that often. Because when I tend to go out on the hunt for a movie, I'm looking for a specific title. So I don't really, tangent off to look for. I probably should, but yeah, it's just not what I normally do.
Yeah. I occasionally pop into charity shops here, but there isn't really nothing much here. It's all your same old sort of stuff you'd find in Poundland. And some of the prices here are just ridiculous. £2 to £3 for a Blu-ray that you could get for 50p or £1 in a CX. I did found a sealed copy of Princess Mononoke with a slip for like £2 a few months ago, so that was a good deal, but haven't found anything as amazing as that for a long while. Edward says, who's excited to see Nub when it comes out? We all are. Yeah, looks good. Carlos says, last Hulk movie with Edward Norton was a decent effort and much better than the Eric Bana version, so Hulk getting a batch of movies would be good to see. I'd love to see a Hulk movie, but it's all down to, is it Universal who owns the rights to Hulk?
Yeah, I think that's right.
It'd be nice if Disney bought out like the rights from Universal, but I'm gathering Universal knows they're onto a good thing there, so they're keeping hold of the Hulk. Dr. Impossible says, what do you make about this situation with Tom Holland wanting to make Fright Night 2, but ignoring Fright Night 2 made by Tommy Lee Wallace? It's been too long since Fright Night came out in '85. Oh, didn't know about this one.
I think last I heard, he was writing a novel that was meant to be like a direct sequel to the original Fright Night. But other than that, I don't really know any other details.
It's interesting, though. Andy?
Yeah, I didn't even know he was doing this, but I really like the Tommy Lee Wallace one. I don't mind it. I think it's a pretty good movie, but I mean, the first one is... I love the first one. The first one's amazing. But, yeah, I didn't know he was wanting to do one.
I'd be interested to see what happens. I still need to see the first one yet. What about you, David?
Oh, yeah. The original Fright Night is one of my favorite vampire movies of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Fright Night 2, and I even liked the reboot of 1 and 2. I thought those were pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. I'd be down for it. I like vampire movies, so
It'll never be the same without Roddy McDowall, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
He has to be in the movie, but unfortunately, he can't be.
no.
Rogue says, I live on the South Wales coast, so I got the heat wave full force. Ouch. Rogue says there's generally a remake of Scarface in the works. Oh dear.
Well, if it's as good as the last one.
Yeah. I wonder what it's going to be like, though. I dread to think. Are we going to get The Rock as Tony?
Oh, and then Kevin Hart's got to be in it if The Rock's in it. I don't know what it'll be. Maybe one of the end tables or something in the movie. But yeah, I didn't see anything about a remake in the works, but I might watch that, depending on who they get for Tony Montana.
Yeah, it depends on what happens. We'll have to wait and see. David Beach says, "Have you watched I Am Number 4? I Am Number 4 movie from 2011, and what did you think of it?" I've heard of it, but never seen it. I bet it's based on a book, isn't it?
Yes, it's based on a series of books. I actually saw it twice in the theater. And of course I have the Blu-ray. I liked it. I'm a fan of the books, so yeah. I like the movie. But yeah, it's kind of a guilty pleasure. Alex Pettyfer's not a very good actor in this, but I did like Teresa Palmer, I believe her name is, as the female lead. I thought she was really good. She got to use her Australian accent.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, I have to give that one a go. Have you seen it, Andy?
I've not, no. I remember it coming out, but I didn't catch it. Yeah.
No. You seen it, Mike?
No, not seen it.
Edward says, "What's your thoughts on Terminator Dark Fate, and is it worth watching?"
Maybe.
It's not the worst Terminator sequel.
No.
Not the best either.
Yeah, it has some cool action scenes. That's about it. But it's not a proper good Terminator film. That's about it, really. It didn't really feel like a Terminator film for the first half an hour by the opening.
Like, I won't spoil it, but the way that movie starts, it has some pair of balls to do what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that will probably decide for you very quickly how you're going to enjoy the rest of that movie or not. But yeah, it wasn't for me.
Well, if you've got,
I think after Terminator 2, you might as well just stop there.
You're very right there. I think it's on Disney Plus. So Edward, if you got Disney Plus, give it a go on that and see what you think.
Yeah,
it's probably the best thing to do. You seen it, Mike? Dark Fate?
Yeah. I thought it was very, very ordinary. I can't really say much more than that. It was average at best.
Yeah, it wasn't very memorable.
Yeah. I can't even remember that much from it, apart from that opening scene.
Yeah, the opening.
Yeah, I agree. Dr. Impossible says the new Lord of the Diversity Rings trailer made me laugh out loud just recently. The show looking more and more of a shit face. Hey, Amazon, send some of that 1 billion my way. What a waste. It just honestly feels like we don't need this TV series, but I don't know. I'll watch it, see what it's like, but I'm not getting my hopes up. What about you guys?
Same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Bumpus Movie says Dana Guerrero may become the new Black Panther. She is in the movie and is well thought of in Hollywood. She was shown in The Walking Dead. I do like her character. She's great.
Yeah, I could buy that. Dana Guerrero she's good. She's a good actress too.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the best characters in The Walking Dead, I think. Right, let's just get past them. Carlos says, with Hollywood running out of ideas for movies, is there a TV series, past or present, that you wouldn't mind getting a high-budget movie like The A-Team, for example? I didn't mind that A-Team film from 20 2009, 2010. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I kind of like the cast in that.
Mm.
It was interesting seeing Quentin Jackson as B.A. Baracus. I think he was the only one that could have done it at the time. But yeah, Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoy that movie.
Yeah, it was good.
But let's see, a TV series, past or present, that I'd like to see Airwolf as a high budget action movie that they put out now. Because I know they have Firebirds and Blue Thunder and all that stuff from the 80s. I'd like to see them take Airwolf and make it a new, like, real flashy summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Definitely does. What about you, Mike?
I can't think of any, to be honest. No, I think the only one that comes to mind from the 70s, but it was remade into a TV series, was Battlestar Galactica. Because I know for a while I think they were going to make a movie about it, but that seems to have stalled. But I'd maybe be interested in something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good. And what about you, Andy?
I think for me, and I can't believe Hollywood hasn't made a movie of it yet, Thundercats.
Yeah, nice.
I believe they haven't touched it yet. It's just sitting there.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I'd like to see that. For me, well, my dreams have been answered thanks to Rob Zombie with the Monsters, but I'd like to see another Sweeney one, but set back in the 70s, like not like what they've done recently, because that was pretty dreadful. But go back to the 70s and do one like that. I think that'd be quite cool. Rogue says, I'd love a Stanley Kubrick biopic. The problem with that is he was a very private man and we know very little about him. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That would be good, but... We've got Brett here saying to the negative commenters, you're not going to ruin the stream. We're here for fun and fun we will have. You're wasting your time. You're not funny. So-called keyboard harman. Please move on.
Well said.
Yeah. I agree. Edward says, what's your favourite Helena Bonham Carter film?
Fight Club. I did like her in the Harry Potter films, but yeah, I got to go Fight Club.
I don't think of what else. I didn't mind her Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, to be fair.
Yeah.
She's been in.
I feel like all she's in is Tim Burton movies. That's all. Like, I'm just thinking of them. Like, just to digress a little bit, I watched Alice in Wonderland for the first time last night, and I just couldn't get over the way she looked in that movie.
With the
yeah, she looked bloody awful. But there's a movie I like with her when she was really young called A Room with a View.
Yeah.
It's got,
oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Andy?
Well, the obvious answer is Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
No, I think for me, I really liked her in the Kenneth Branagh Cinderella. I thought that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett was great in that as well.
Yeah, she was, definitely. I do agree there. I also quite enjoyed her in Corpse Bride as well. I thought she was pretty good in that. And The King's Speech.
Yeah.
Harry says his Vengeance coming on tonight. Unfortunately, he can't make it tonight. He's not very well, and we wish him all the best. We do. And we hope he feels better soon.
Yeah.
Dr. Impossible says Tom Newman was in Wolfen from 81 and in FX from 85. Oh, I didn't know that. I've watched both of them. Right. Dr. Impossible says, mind you, Reggie Naldo was a scary and creepy looking actor. He was in the Hammer film Zoltan, the Hound of Horror, and he played the vampire lead in Salem's Lot. Oh, didn't know that. I've seen both them films as well. Carlos says, great stream as always, Pete, Andy, and Mike, and another great guest as always. Thanks for answering the questions as always. Take care, all. Thanks for watching, Carlos. Take care, mate.
Thanks.
Cheers, Carlos.
David says, Terminator Dark Fate is going to be on TV Channel 4, 9 o'clock Saturday, Pete. Just let you know that you can see what you think of it now, mate. Yeah, I've already seen it. It's definitely an interesting film. It's not the best Terminator film. It's not the worst, but not a film I'm going to go back and watch in a rush, shall I say. But yeah, at least it's on TV, so if people want to watch it, they can make up their minds and watch on there. Just skip a few of these. What's your favourite Billy Crystal film?
For me, it's probably When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just going to say Monsters, Inc. Mike Wazowski. You should have loved that film as a kid and still do now. David?
I liked him in Princess Bride. I think
I was
that's
gonna say that.
probably one of my favorites. And then City Slickers.
Very good. Andy?
Yeah, I was going to say Princess Bride was the witch doctor.
That's true.
Good luck storming the castle.
Pam? What you
No,
saying?
sorry, that's what I was going to say. Princess
Oh,
Bride.
you're all right. You can say any more you like, mate. DVD and Film Bloke says, is it normal to have I Want to Marry a Lighthouse Keeper in my GTA 4 playlist?
you need to hear that song.
I think that might be a requirement.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to H&B and ask them for a copy of I Want to Marry a Lighthouse Keeper. Just want to see their expression. Oh, my days. I really have to check out this. Oh. Right, Marvel fan says, I rewatched Rob Zombie's The Monsters reboot trailer again. Herman Monster looks like he stole his clothing ideas from Shrek. It definitely does look like one of those cheap versions of Shrek from one of them crappy fairground rides. Dr. Impossible says, the big question is, will the Predator be a female Predator, not a male alien Predator? But how will we differentiate a female Predator from an alien Predator if we just see their face? Like we always do in the films.
It probably doesn't matter.
Yeah. They might be unisex. They might just, lay eggs or something when they reproduce. I don't know. But yeah, I can't see a Predator with boobs. I don't think that makes sense to me.
No, that looks like some sort of fan fiction I don't want to go down.
Yeah. Really bad porn movie.
But it wouldn't surprise me if that was a twist in that film that the Predator was a female Predator, but I don't know.
For all we know, the Predator could have been female in the original movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. We don't really know.
I know he was played by a guy in the suit, but yeah, we don't know what gender it was.
We don't know. Yeah, maybe the males of that race are the little tiny ones that run around like little Ewoks.
Oh. David says, do you think old films look good on Blu-ray and 80s films and 90s movies? Do you think the transfers look good? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. David says, Wayne's World, is it good on Blu-ray transfer?
Yeah, it looks great on Blu-ray.
I suppose so, yeah. David says, I got, pardon me, Doctor Strange on Blu-ray for £2. That's a really good price, mate.
Yeah.
Edward says, what's your thoughts on the Eternals getting a sequel?
Okay. More power to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I liked it for what it was, but yeah,
I didn't mind it.
yeah.
Fair enough. But I hope it's less boring this time and more a bit fast paced.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want an Eternal sequel. I'm kind of just like, that's done. I don't want to know any more about these characters. I don't care about these characters.
Yeah.
It's just a surface movie. It's just on the surface, it's fine, and that's it. There's nothing profound about it. You aren't going to get anything from it. It's just it's just one of those surface movies.
Yeah, you're right.
It just looks good, and that's it.
What about you, Mike? Thoughts on the Eternal sequel?
I still haven't seen the first one, so yeah, I don't know. If they want to make one, then yeah, more power to them.
Yeah, sounds good. Rogue says, all the charity shops by me are all in the same part of the same street near my local CEX. Yeah, my local charity shops just seem to focus it more on like eBay. Oh, it's priced on eBay at that price, so that's how much we're going to get it, but that's not normally the case. Marvel fan says, that's a bargain. Which charity shop did you get it from? Just going to sort out another one of these. Right. Rogue says, De Palma's Scarface was a remake of Howard's Hawks Scarface of 32, which is a H&V Premium. Yeah, I did see that on Saturday. I'm tempted to pick that one up. DVD and Film Bloke says, I need to watch the original Scarface. It does look good. Dr. Impossible says, used to like Peter Finch as an actor, Network being one of his iconic film roles. Also, Robert Blake was a great actor until the murder rap ended his career. Right. Hawk Scarface is very different from De Palma's and more tame, and there's 2 cuts thanks to the Hays Code being introduced which banned intense scenes and vulgar language. Yeah, I heard there was a different cut. Have you guys seen the original Scarface?
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't think I have.
Yeah.
No. Was it any good?
It's pretty good from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vengeance Media just sent me a picture of him in the hospital.
Oh dear. I hope he gets well soon. I'll have to message him after the stream. Right. Brett says, Scarface 83 is my favourite picture of all time. Doing a little research, it looks like Michael B. Jordan may play Tony Montana. Not happy with that choice. We need to make less remakes, more originality. I do agree there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Somebody said earlier that Hollywood's running out of ideas, and I don't think that's true. I think Hollywood doesn't want to pay for any original ideas.
Yeah, that's very true.
They'd rather go, it's Halloween 57. Oh, cool. It's got the Halloween name on it. We'll pay money and put it out, but they won't pay for anything original because they don't know.
It's all about brand recognition at the end of the day, and that brings in money. We're too slow to try out new ideas.
Going with something that's more recognizable is less of a risk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this will make money because of the name.
Yeah. It's exactly the same with the video game industry.
Yeah. And even when it is an original idea, there'll always be something attached to it. Like, say, for instance, Nope. I mean, it's an original movie, but the only reason why everyone's hyped for it is because Jordan Peele's attached to it.
Yeah, that's very true. Rogue says there's a remake of Little Shop of Horrors with Taron Egerton as Seymour and Chris Evans as Audrey 2 in the works.
Okay.
Why? But there you go. We've got Jim Jam Movies and TV here saying, "Hey lads, hey James, thanks for joining, mate. Hope you're all right." Dr. Impossible says, and also Daniel Day-Lewis, an actor who can do great accents. My Left Foot, My Beautiful Laundrette, and Cough Stars and Bars, all about an Englishman in New York. Brett saying, watch your James, hope you're well. David saying hey to James. Edward says, what's your thoughts on the new Men in Black 25th anniversary steelbook from Sony in America? Oh,
so good.
that is so lovely. Oh, I do approve. Love it.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I wasn't even gonna wait. So yeah, I just got it. I just unboxed that yesterday.
Awesome. Why can't we have nice things like that in the UK? Edward says, which one of the Men in Black films is your favourite? I think the first one's my favourite.
It's got to be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the third one, but the first one's definitely the best one. I haven't seen International. I've heard dreadful things about that one.
Yeah, it was okay, but it's Thor and Valkyrie being Men in Black. I'd have to say it's better than what they were going to do, because they were going to do Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum and merge Men in Black with 21 Jump Street.
I can remember that. That was a very odd
That was
merger.
a dreadful idea. I was like, I don't know if I want to watch that or not. But yeah, it was all right. And I think with 3, I think Tommy Lee Jones kind of phoned that in. Acting wise, but yeah, I think the original 3 are fun, but yeah, 1 for sure.
Definitely
is awesome.
What about you, Mike? You agree?
Yeah, 1.
David says Jim Jam movies and TV. Everybody should describe. I think you mean subscribe.
Subscribe.
Mate,
yeah.
Yeah. DVD and Film Bloke. YouTube link. Here's the full song. Annoyingly, most of the versions on YouTube's are outrage. Oh, I'll have to give that a listen. Thanks, mate. David says Jim Jam movies. Not impossible. Just say utter crap, Mike. Dark Fate was shocking, insulting, and pissed all over the 2 great films. I would rather watch T3 40 times.
Oh wow.
Though I've only watched it 3 times. Wow. Not a fan of Dark Fate. Genesis, though, for me, I could not get through that film. That is awful.
Oh, it's a mess, that movie.
Yeah. Oh, Genesis is such a. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'd take Salvation over Genesis.
Yeah.
Any day. Yeah. And that's Emilia Clarke's in that too, in Genesis, right?
Yeah.
I like her
as well.
So I was kind of excited to see it, and then I was like, wow, why did they do that? And like Dark Fate, when I knew Linda Hamilton was going to be back, I was like, oh, cool. I'm kind of excited to see Dark Fate. But yeah, it didn't really behave like a Terminator movie.
No, they just haven't got a clue on how to make a next Terminator movie. They should have just ended it after 2.
Yeah.
David Even Film Bloke says, God, you should watch Clockwork Orange, Pete. It's great. I have got it, but I haven't seen it yet. Got to watch it. It's on the list. I can't find my copy, actually. I better search that one down and add it to the pile of watch films. David says, Doctor Strange charity shop, British Heart Foundation, £2. Bargain, mate. Well done there. Right. Brett says, I love Billy Crystal in Analyze That. I laugh every time when he slaps Robert De Niro, then waves his hand up, and Dan making a lightsaber noise that barks at him. Haha. Yeah, I can remember that, but I haven't seen that one in years.
Same.
Yeah. Nick Movie Talk says, Evening all, any games that you'd like to see made into a movie that haven't been made? Mine would be Fortnite. I think that is actually turning out to be a game, mate. I'll bet money on it that a Fortnite film is in the works. But any games that you'd like to get a movie, Andy?
Do you remember Rayman?
Yeah, Rayman.
Yes, one. Yeah.
Awesome. That'd be good. Yeah, I agree with that though. Yeah, I'm down for a Rayman one. Probably leave the Rabin Rabbits away from Rayman, but what about you, David?
Yeah, I gotta say my favorite game is Diablo, so I would love to get a Diablo movie, but if they release it like they did Warcraft, I would be very disappointed. So I'm apprehensive on saying that. But that would be the only video game that I'd like to see turned into a movie.
Yeah, that's a good choice. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, there's a couple for me. I'd like to see Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell as a movie. That could be quite interesting. This was already made into a movie, but I'd like to see it made into a better movie. Max Payne. Don't know if anyone remembers that game.
Yeah.
The movie was with Mark Wahlberg was terrible. And I did always want a Halo movie, but I know they've made it into a TV show now. I haven't checked that out yet, but yeah, those are some of them.
Great picks. For me, I always want to see a Legend of Zelda one. I always want to see a Metroid one. We're getting a Mario one next year from the team behind the Despicable Me ones. I'd like to see a God of War film. I think that would be quite good. I'm also getting the Last of Us TV series next year, which looks pretty cool. Hopefully, it'll live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Marvel fan says Kingsman is apparently filming next year. Kingsman 3, yeah, I think it pretty much has been confirmed and it is in production. Yeah, I enjoyed the Kingsman, so I'm looking forward to this third one, but I haven't seen the second one yet.
It's all right, the second one.
Yeah, that's fine. You're not missing out on too much, Pete. I mean, I liked them all.
Yeah. Edward says, all your fans of Blockbuster Stores, Universal TV and Netflix are teaming up with Randall Park, who will star in the new sitcom set in a Blockbuster store. Okay. That sounds cool. I've never heard of that before, but that's cool. You guys heard of it?
No.
Rogue says, I'd love a Fallout movie. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. Ooh, Half-Life kind of popped into my head too. Half-Life would be kind of a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like a post-apocalyptic, just nasty like Fallout.
That would be cool. Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Brett says LA Noire, Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem would never be made, Brett.
Duke Nukem.
Oh dear. I'd like to see it, but it definitely would be made today. But LA Noire, I'd love a TV series of that. I think I would perfectly suit a TV series. Edward says, could you pick one guest to join you on the stream? Who would you pick and why? If you could pick one guest to join you on the stream, who would you pick and why?
We're talking like other YouTubers?
Or like anyone.
Anyone. Shall we just say our dream celebrity guests, shall we say? Who would we like to have on as a celebrity or famous person? What's that, Dad? Who would you like on? Jeremy Clarkson? No.
I tell you, I'd like to sit down and discuss movies with Edgar Wright.
Yes.
No,
he would be a great one to talk to.
Yeah.
I'd like to have Mark Mode on. I think that'd be quite fun.
Yeah.
I know his opinions on movies can be very diverse, so that'd be quite cool. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'd probably just similar to Edgar Wright, probably just someone like Quentin Tarantino, someone who's very knowledgeable about movies.
Yeah. David?
Yeah. I don't know. It's I gotta say Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think I'd love to just talk to him and just kind of learn his story, and almost like how you kind of want a biopic of him. I'd like to interview him. And I think that would be a blast.
Adding to that about actors, Michael Caine, that would be a good one. He's had a whole lifetime of show business, and I bet he's got many interesting stories to tell.
Yeah. I think Woody Harrelson too would be one that I'd like to interview him.
Yeah, I agree there. Edward says apparently you can get the Men in Black Savvy exclusive 25th anniversary limited edition 4K Ultra HD Steelbook, including Blu-ray. Ooh. If that's the same one, I may have to pop over to Zavi, even though I haven't fully got 4K yet. That is one nice steelbook, and I'm not a steelbook person. Rogue says, I'd love to see David Lynch on here. He seems like an interesting guy. Yeah. Yeah. He'd probably tell us about his weather as well.
Speaking riddles the weather. Stream.
Pardon?
He'd probably just speak in riddles the whole stream.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I do agree there. DVD Full Bloke says, if you get Mark Mode on, you should get him to do his Fred voice. Seriously, his Fred fucking review is hilarious. I bet I've just tried many surpassed memories of that. Yeah, I remember watching that as that's absolutely hilarious. He just sits there screaming for about 2 or 3 minutes like a child. Yeah. Rogue says, I'm still waiting on Zavi to deliver my copy of Network after a month. Yeah, I've heard a few people are waiting for stuff from Zavi, like The Northman and Red Sonja Steelbook and Doctor Strange. So, I don't know. Hopefully people get their stuff soon. And Rogue saying, watch some Lynch interviews. They're amazing. Certainly will do. He does seem like a very interesting guy. But yeah, that is the final comment of the night. So just get your comments back, get your final comments in as we round everything up. But anyway, I'd like to thank everybody watching the stream at home for watching. Been on here for nearly 4 hours and it's been a lot of fun. I'd like to thank Scott for joining and David from the 4K Lowdown for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you again, David.
Oh yeah, my pleasure.
We all wish Matt a speedy recovery and hopefully get him on in the stream in the future. Thanks as always, Mike and Andy, for joining the stream.
Cheers, Pete.
And don't forget to subscribe to everybody here. And I will leave David's link in the description down below after really neglecting him there and forgetting to put it in before going live.
Man.
But we've got some more comments here just to get through. We've got Marvel fans saying, bye, guys. Rogue says, Zavi is run by sloths and tortoises. Probably.
Apparently. like the DMV in Zootopia.
DVD Film Bloke says, good night. Rogue says, bye. Sub says, I've currently been watching Waterloo Road. Is there a show you'd love to rewatch? Doctor Who, to remind me that it used to be a good show. Andy?
It's Batman the Animated Series for me. I can watch that back to front and never get bored of it.
Classic show. David?
I just started rewatching NCIS New Orleans. I bought the series of that. I like all those crime detective shows. So Castle, The Mentalist, all the NCIS, the CSI. I'll watch those all the time.
Yeah, Castle's great. I do enjoy that one. Mike?
My favorite show is Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined series from the noughties. I can watch that over and over.
Yep, great pick. Brett says Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise would be a great choice. I've never seen a Tom Cruise film, but they're down to earth. David says, great stream tonight, guys. Thanks for joining, David. Marvel fan can't wait for the new series of Waterloo Road. Yeah, that's coming back very soon. Keith's here from Euphoria Pictures saying, great night, lads. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining, Keith.
Thanks, Keith.
And the final comment tonight is from Edward Kopic saying, thanks for another awesome stream, guys. Thanks ever so much, Edward. And thank you ever so much, everybody else, for watching as well. So we'll end it all there. And as always, thanks for watching the stream. See you all again next week where our special guest will be the Movie Cheer podcast. So until then, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.